You are listening to A One Pint Stand, a Minnesota craft beer podcast that tells the stories of craft beer in Minnesota and beyond. So kick back, relax, and grab a cold one. The show starts now. Hello, my name is Dan Bobian, and I write, produce, and host A One Pint Stand. I'm ecstatic that you're listening. This episode of A One Pint Stand is proudly brought to you by Unmapped Brewing Company. Located in the Glen Lake neighborhood of Minnetonka, Minnesota, Unmapped provides a great place to bring the family and doggos for a variety of beverage options. You can start with their base camp coffee in the morning and then smoothly transition to a refreshing beer or thirst-quenching seltzer. Unmapped has something for everyone. On this episode of A One Pint Stand, I'm joined by my favorite travel companions, Rick and Paige, to recap my summer trip to Boise, Idaho. This trip was with a gaggle of friends I met through beer writing, and we discovered that not only was Boise beautiful, but it boasts an embarrassment of riches when it comes to coffee, beer, and food. Now, if you're a Patreon supporter, you should enjoy the ridiculousness of our variety of eclectic Lyft and Uber drivers. It's a hoot and a half. So let's head out to the greenery of the Wandering Leaf Brewing Company tap room for my conversation with Rick and Paige. Cheers. Welcome to another on-location episode of A One Pint Stand. I'm your host, Dan Bobian. We're here at Wandering Leaf Brewing Company because there's lots of plants, and it's a nice kind of middle-of-the-road location between me and my lovely guests. I'm being joined by Rick and Paige, my favorite travel buddies, and we're going to recap our Boise Beercation, beer conference, beer shenanigans. What would you call that? What's the term?
Boise Beer Conference Bonanza?
Ooh, yes. I like that. Anytime I can work in the word bonanza into anything. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
We've logged many miles, both in the car and in the plane. And this summer, it was...
Other people's cars.
Other people's cars.
Yes.
Other people's cars. That should be the name. That could be a new podcast. Welcome to Other People's Cars. We're recording in the trunk of a sedan. The Cutlass Sierra in its heyday was like driving a cloud. And now it's just left in front of my driveway and I can't move it. So, yeah. We're going to talk about Boise, Idaho. Before we get into that, I would like each of you to say your name, say how we met, and give me a beer style that you've been longing for lately.
Dan, I got to tell you that... Oh, this is Paige.
Hello,
Dodora.
Paige.
Many a person has asked me how we've met, and I actually don't remember, which I feel like is a mark of a great friendship.
Yeah.
But I know it was beer related. I
Yes.
know you were doing the beer classes at Seven Corners, and I was involved with the Midweek Beer Geek at the Nomad, which for those of you old local people is just like a block and a half apart from each other. So I assume that's how we ran into one another, but I actually don't remember the first time.
I'm glad you said that because...
And it's not that you're not memorable.
I don't know. I don't remember the exact,
Yeah.
Specific time. I just know that I associate you with beer.
Yeah.
And we've kind of gotten to know each other over the years, and it's really great. But yeah, I think I read your stuff, a lot of your writing, and then it must have been some beer release or something, maybe Dangerous Man or Lift Bridge or something like that.
I just don't remember if someone made the connection or we just said hello and
Might have been just like at a beer thing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was it at one of those Insight things?
Because
they used to do those
one of the media
those
previews?
preview things.
Certainly could be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyhow.
Yeah.
We're here now, and that's all that matters. So what's a beer style that you've kind of had on your radar?
That's a great question. I mean, I'm always on the lookout for a really good pale ale because I feel like everybody just jumps to the IPA. And there's also been a resurgence of a lot of the black IPA and all these variations. But whenever I see a pale ale on a menu, I generally will go for it because
Yeah.
I feel like it's the perfect all season beer and everyone does it a little differently and it's the perfect balance of like hops and malt for me.
Yeah.
But I know that's not very exciting.
They can be, though,
Yeah.
if they're done right.
They should be. Yes, I agree.
Speaking of exciting things done right, Rico Suave,
My name is Rick.
you know your way around a quiche.
I try. I did have one with a soggy bottom the other day, and it was
Ooh.
delicious, but needed work. I also don't know how we met. I would assume it's through Paige. I would have to
Yeah.
assume it's through Paige and just through beer stuff in general. But I think probably like the first time, I think like Milwaukee, that adventure that we took together, I think that was probably the first like, I was like, I think we're going to be friends for life.
I think that's when we really bonded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Like
you
when
know,
we went on our own, not the Beer Now conference, when we all
Well-
went in my car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
the-
beer now as well, but
yeah, but
definitely-
we shared. I mean, that was,
A lot of gum.
a lot. That was, we cut into the extra spearmint old 96er, I call it. 96 pieces of gum.
Yeah.
96 hours of chewing pleasure. That was really fun. I think that happens when you go on a road trip with somebody. You bond. You have a good time.
Yeah, and I think it's like I grew up taking road trips, so I enjoy them. I like them a lot. And I think it's like it doesn't even have to be a long one. Even if you take a day trip out with someone, like you can just have like a blast and really connect, and also decide like is this somebody that you like and enjoy traveling with? And I think over the years, like, and when we were in Boise having our bonanza, we were talking about that. Like the three of us were like, we've kind of traveled. We put some miles on together as like as a power trio. Here.
We even shared a hotel in Virginia.
That's right.
You know,
like
I introduced you to modern refrigeration. We're like, okay, hotels would tell you the sink is for washing. No, that is a conspiracy
As
theory.
long as you have a functional drain
debunked.
plug, that's a refrigerator.
Exactly. What's a beer style that you've been having on your radar? You've been craving?
I love a Belgian triple. When I got into craft beer, it was IPAs, like a lot of people. And then when I discovered Belgian beer, it kind of like opened this brand new doorway. And I started really appreciating things like yeast and more like kind of sitting with a beer, especially like a big beer, like a triple or a golden strong.
Big beer.
Or a golden strong or something like that, where you can actually like sit with it and like it changes as it warms up, and like the aromas are different from first sip to last sip. The flavors are different from first sip to last sip. It's a really enjoyable style, and I think also no one makes them. It's not a style that you see at a lot of places, and I feel like when you do see it somewhere, you're like, well, I'm committing to this because it's a big beer. But yeah, and even like we've often lamented, like a lot of bottle shops, they aren't even really carrying a lot of the more international stuff anymore. It's like hard to find triple Carmelite, just like one of my favorite beers.
Well, and I should mention, if you happen upon Wooden Ship Brewing on a Tuesday, you can see Rick in action. Rick, it was really fun the other day because I guess thinking back, I did know that you bartend on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
But in the moment, I was kind of just, oh God, got to get over here, and I walked in and I saw you. I'm like, oh, Rick is working. I never go to the Wooden Ship because it's just not. I'm never passing by it. It's kind of like one of those places that is a specific destination.
Yeah.
We were slinging beers and yucking it up with the locals. And
It's Tuesdays. You can pretty much find me there. I've been there for a few years. Tuesdays are my most consistent shift.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I might grab like a Monday, or if we have an event, I'm usually there too. And it's great. Like I said, I've been there for several years. It's an awesome team of people.
yeah.
They treat their folks really well, and they just make really solid beer.
Yeah.
And we have a good group of regulars. I mean, everyone that walks in there is a regular in some way, shape, or form, which is really fun. I would say, like, most people come in either on bike or on foot, and so that's kind of cool. Like, we get to actually be that community spot. And My only problem is that because I'm there so infrequently, I sometimes forget what like regulars want. Like they come up and they're like, "I'll have the usual." I'm like, "Yep, yeah, you will." I don't know what that is.
You just stare. Cricket, cricket. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, the usual. That's good stuff, isn't it? Joy in a glass, the usual. Ever try usual light? Oh, no, it's garbage. Pour it down the drain. Yeah, Wooden Chip is interesting. They always seem to have a lot of unique beers.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I would imagine, interacting with those a lot. You probably are constantly getting new, different beer styles. It seems like they do a nice job of having the regular stuff that the regulars want, but also slipping in, every now and again, you'll see a dark mild on there.
Yes.
You'll see, you see a Saisons a lot.
Yeah.
That's kind of like their calling card. Yeah.
But yeah, the ever-changing beers are interesting because Josh, the owner, he's a former chef, and he's a great brewer.
Okay, that makes more sense about
the
like
culinary
their beers. Yeah.
influence.
He's an excellent brewer as well, and one of his things is like, I mean, at least the first time I ever went there, I was like, I've never seen these ingredients in beer before. Sounds weird, and then you drink it, and you're like, oh, I'll have a pint of that. It's delicious. That's an interesting combination.
We're here to talk about our summer adventure out to the land of potatoes, hops, and for one weekend every 5 years, a Bosque Festival.
Yes, it's a dry heat.
A dry, oh God, yes. Yes, it was a dry heat. So let's talk Boise, Idaho. Now, we went out there with the last year. Well, this is the second trip, kind of second version iteration of what used to be the Beer Bloggers, Writers, and Conference. The Beer Bloggers and Writers.
For a while, it was called the Beer Bloggers Conference when I first went. And then it kind of, people started throwing in like beer bloggers and media and writers. And then it kind of transformed into the Beer Now Conference because I think they were just trying to be inclusive of like influencers and photographers, which is great. But then they just stopped doing it. So we wanted to keep getting together. Yeah. So a group of us decided, when the organization Zephyr, who was the company behind the conference, sort of folded, which I think was in 2022, maybe officially, we decided we wanted to keep up. Obviously, we have a group of friends through that we all know each other, have known each other over the years, and we did like a virtual Oktoberfest, and we had a lot of virtual happy hours in peak COVID times, since we're all over the country. And then a few of us thought, well, what if we just got together for beer travel that was less formal or formal in a different way. And we thought about, should there be an education component? Should there not be? But mainly we wanted it to be social, and we wanted it to be on a regular basis. And we opened it up to everyone we could think of that had ever attended the conference before, at least that we could get a hold of or personally knew. And it's become a core group of 12 to 15 of us that are in constant communication.
Well, I like this year, we invited some Marcus and Andrea. Yeah. Everyone like, hey, I just happened to mention that to them, and they had been thinking about going out there. I'm like, well, if you go over these dates, we'll be there too, and we can kind of join on for all or whatever parts of our conference you want. And I think they had a really fun time. Yep. And it turned out that Marcus grew up out in Virginia, so he and Michelle were basically from the same town.
That's so funny.
Yeah, small world. Yeah, I used to think just Minnesota was a big small town, but really it's everywhere. So we flew out there on a Thursday. We wound up staying a week. The conference was from Thursday to Monday morning. Yeah. That's always a sad goodbye when you bid farewell. But I always like when we're like, okay, we've still got more time. Yeah. So we started off the first thing in the itinerary. I like how you, Michelle, and Dave you have your roles and different ways to plan. It always comes together in a really nice way. I think it's a nice mix of beer-centric stuff because that's kind of how we all know each other. Right. We all love beer, but there's always some different wrinkles. I know that one of the big highlights for me from the Louisville trip was the Louisville Slugger Museum and Bat Factory. Yes. That was really cool. The bar across the bridge was it Jefferson, Indiana?
Yeah, in Indiana.
The game park. Yep. where we played. We learned a lot about who was cutthroat when it comes to bocce ball. I've never come so close to losing an eye. So that was kind of fun. So it's a neat mix of different things. And one of the first things on the itinerary was a minor independent league baseball game.
Yeah.
The Boise Hawks.
Yeah, that was so fun.
Playing the Chattanooga Chesters. I don't
remember.
Missoula. It was Missoula, Montana.
Missoula.
Yeah, it was the Missoula Strikers or something. Missoula.
I thought it was a fish.
Missoula Marlins.
Still?
Might have been the Steelheads.
Might have been
Actually, that
Steelheads, yeah.
sounds about right.
Yeah.
For the purposes of this podcast, we will call them the Missoula Steelheads. Well, no love lost between those teams. You can throw out the record books. They hate each other. And we arrived. It was a really neat stadium. So we flew in.
It was a really cool stadium.
Yeah.
And the flight had some turbulence.
Oh, my gosh.
Someone shrieked.
I was. If you would have told me based on the first 15 minutes of the flight which passenger would have been shrieking, I would have told you it was a lady across the aisle who immediately ordered a margarita for herself and a Sprite for her 4-year-old. So that was wild. I was like,
No,
I guess
think
I'm
the
less
shrieker was
concerned
right
about the
behind me.
margarita. Why is this kid chugging a Sprite right away on a flight? Yeah, we had some wacky turbulence,
Yeah.
and there was a Velociraptor-esque shriek of terror. And then I was just very happy that we landed.
Me too.
All alone.
I do not condone applauding when a plane lands. But after that, I was like, yeah, okay, we can have a little, maybe snaps, maybe some nice snaps.
I gave the pilot an awkwardly long hug. Thank you, sir. I've never been so happy to see the Earth. So then we needed to check into our hotel, the Spring Hill Inn and Suites.
Yes.
World famous.
World famous, that's right. You'll never find a better pool area that abuts a parking lot in a busy office road than the Spring Hill Inn and Suites. Those jackasses charged me for parking.
I know.
Did you
said
check
that.
your
No,
thing?
You told me to check and I completely forgot, but I still will.
Why would I? So several of
We
us
all
asked
said
if we
that
could use
none
the
of
shuttle.
us had a car. Exactly.
No,
Well,
I
why
thought
would we-
Dave had a car.
At the end of the trip, not at the beginning.
Oh, at the end. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, he disappeared. He was
lot.
getting.
Kind of a lot.
That encompasses the whole trip.
Dave's
Dave
on his own
disappeared.
schedule.
There are several constants: death, taxes, and Dave disappearing on one of these trips. So we stayed in the hotel. We kind of flew. Everybody else got in a little earlier than we did. So we had to get some food, and we went to the refuge, which would wind up being kind of a home away from home.
Yes.
I went in. The place was packed. Luckily, commandeered 3 seats at the bar. You guys came in after. And I was just excited. When I'm in a new place, I'm sure you all feel similar, but I want, give me a local beer that I haven't had.
Oh, yeah.
So I think I had a Snake River IPA and wound up being like a hazy IPA. It was pretty good. Yeah. Then I began perusing the menu. And I'm not going to say my first love or my second love because that's baseball and my wife, but my third love is this chicken avocado bacon wrap
Oh my gosh, yeah.
that I became quite enamored with. The fries were delicious. You got a lamb burger.
Yes.
You got
I got the Euro.
Yeah.
The international.
But it said if I remember
it
correctly,
had a lot of back hair. I remember that.
Unless I'm thinking of somewhere else, I'm pretty
No,
sure
you
it
have the
said
Euro.
that all the lamb on their menu was sourced locally.
Which
is-
we later learned that Idaho is a big grower of sheep and lamb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was really exciting. And yeah, I mean, I was wearing it by the end of it, I did not need to get a snack at the baseball game. I was I felt great. That was, yeah.
Yeah, that provided a very nice base.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that I discovered at a lot of places, if you ordered fries or tater tots or something, it would come with fry sauce.
Yeah, that's one of the official foods of Boise.
That was really interesting. What do you think was in there? Was it a sour cream base and maybe hot sauce, maybe some ketchup?
I think it varies everywhere you go, but
Oh, really? You don't think
my fry sauce personally is a little bit of mayonnaise, a little bit of ketchup,
Oh, yeah.
a little bit of hot sauce, and then something to kind of
I thought it
brighten
had
it
a
up a little bit.
Thousand Island kind of component to it.
Well, isn't Thousand Island just you can make it with
make it.
mayo,
Yeah.
sliced up
Pickles.
pickles,
Chopped up pickles.
and ketchup, right?
That's honestly how I make it.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, we had a couple of the official foods of Boise. There's the fry sauce. There's the steak.
Oh, the steak.
Oh, yeah. Steak fingers.
Steak fingers.
Yeah.
We had those at Sockeye.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll talk about Sockeye in the second half. 'Cause as Rick is wont to say, I spent a week there one day. Yeah, so we had some food, jumped in a lift, headed to the baseball game. We had a lot of interesting lift stories, and we're going to talk about that in the Patreon segment. So if you're listening if you're listening to the regular version right now, you might just want to pause and go to Patreon and just sign up because there's good stuff over there. Then we go to the baseball game. We get there and we find out it's half price beer night.
And we also find out that they have real hawks at the Hawks game. I didn't think. I thought someone was lying to me when they said that they have, like, that the hawks in the sky are like purposefully there. So on the lighting for the stadium, they have like these little perches where these hawks will just perch and they just fly around during the game. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah,
it made me want to like sports.
Well,
yeah,
and you would think too, like with that, it's like, why would these birds want to hang out here? Like, it's a baseball game, but because it's a minor league game, so it's a lot quieter. Like, I doubt you're going to see a hawk hanging around, the Twin Stadium. That would be strange.
Yeah.
But like out there, it's like whenever there's downtime, which baseball's got a lot of downtime, you just like look up in the sky and you're like, oh, it's just hawks flying around everywhere. That's cool. And,
yeah.
It was very cool, and it was a beautiful night. It was like
perfect.
Kind of was threatening rain, so there was like a lot of clouds on the horizon, and it was really pretty. Just you could see the mountains in the background.
We saw a rainbow, did we not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So that was good. That was fun. It's always fun, like, when you kind of like when you're traveling and you finally get settled and you kind of you exhale, you take that first big sip of beer, and you just like look around.
All of our friends were there.
You see the people, and you're like, okay, I'm on vacation now.
Especially I find like with our group is like when we all finally get there. And in this case, getting there was the baseball game. Although Marcus and Andrea came the next day, right?
No, they were on our same flight. They had a different, I think they had gone to some breweries that night.
They had hit some breweries that night, yeah. But like when we all were just like, we're here, we're at a baseball game, like, heck yeah, let's hang out. It was like paying attention to the game, maybe a little bit, mostly just kind of like catching up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's some fun personalities, and I think, Jeff cracks me up. He's so funny. He has just a way about him that is very likable. He loves to like, he's good at like kind of needling you in a funny way.
Yeah.
But one of the things after he'll say something, oh, she hates me now. She hates, like that that Jeffism, I guess you could call it. That's really funny. But like hanging out with him, I love making him laugh. Hamilton is so fun. Yeah. Like I like talking baseball with Hamilton. He's a huge Atlanta Braves fan, and he knows like
and they had just been to Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then, Michelle talking Christmas, also, people watching with these people in the hotel morning lobby is always kind of fun. But it's just like, it's a fun group. Like you can interact with anybody.
Oh yeah.
And now I feel like we have enough, like sometimes when you meet somebody, if you don't know them very well, there's not a lot of like backstory.
Yeah.
I feel like our group now has a really cool backstory, and there's things like, oh, remember that one time, there's a lot more reminiscing that happens.
Hotel room karaoke.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe we weren't kicked out of that hotel.
Well, if they would have kicked us out, I would have set fire to the place.
I mean, where would we have
this
gone?
wouldn't have happened if you would have let us crack a beer in the lobby, you assholes.
That's true.
So it's fun. Every trip, there's more layers to the stories and the references and the inside jokes and the different things. Right. And I really appreciate that. So yeah, like you said, you get there and it's like, here we go. Also, did you notice that I just walked into the stadium?
Yeah.
Their security
There's
there
no frisking.
was like, and I was really looking forward to it.
The woman literally was like, do you have tickets? And I was like, yeah. And she just waved me in.
I just like walked in. I'm like, where do I get tickets? She's like, how did you get in? I said, I just walked past you. She's like, you got to go out there. I'm like, okay, that. So I went on, but I was just like, I should have not said anything. But that was really fun. The baseball game was kind of, I think the Boise team was up for a while, and then
Really up for a while.
their
and then
bullpen
not.
really gave it away in the seventh. They,
Yeah.
I don't
Do you
know if the
remember that
guy.
underhanded pitcher? Do you remember the one pitcher,
Yeah.
the relief pitcher who pitched underhand?
Oh yeah,
That was really cool.
side armor.
I don't
call
think it
that
worked out so
they
well,
call
but it
that
looked
a
really cool.
submariner. No, I think he was pitching right into the path of the bat, and they hit a couple home runs, couple souvenirs for the Hawks, and
Yeah.
the Missoula Steelheads got on the bus happy, and the Boise Hawks were
Walked home.
licking their wounds.
And at one point there was that like kids team
yeah,
that
that
came and like
kids
sat
team.
in our section, and we were like, what are all these kiddos doing here? And they were like rambunctious. We were like, whatever, have fun. And then like they were like doing like a dance off or something for a while.
It was like, it started off as a Sandlot, then you look up and it's Magic Mike. It's like, what's happening here? Why is this 11-year-old pelvic thrusting with a glove on? That was a little odd. But that's the thing I love about like minor league baseball or independent baseball. It's like, it's not about the game. It's about like entertainment and just kind of fun. And because, if you paid money to go to Target Field this summer, it was more of a punishment than a joy. Because, but yeah, that was fun. And then we headed home. I know there's always a crew that goes out on that first night.
I couldn't.
I don't know
The time difference. I just
Like-
couldn't. I had to go to bed.
And I was envisioning going back to the hotel, watching some TV and winding down, and we get close, and I'm like, wow, it's really dark here.
Really dark.
And there's no lights on
parking lot was dark.
whatsoever.
Oh my gosh.
And then the Lyft driver let us off. And I'm like, why are all these people outside with glow sticks? When we arrived back to the
It wasn't
hotel,
a rave.
Yeah, it wasn't a rave. I'm like, oh, okay. Let me go crush up a couple of these Flintstone vitamins and snort some Dinos, and let's get this party started. No, it was a power outage.
A true full-blown power outage.
A real doozy of a situation.
Yes. And to the credit of the staff at the Spring Hill Suites in an office park in Boise, Idaho, they were fantastic. They handled it like total professionals. We walked up. We were like, what's going on? They're like, the power's out. We're like, okay.
Well, that much we gathered.
We were like, yeah, we figured. We're like, can we go to our room? So
I'd like to solve the mystery.
we were like, can we go to our room? They're like, yeah, but your room's not going to have power either. And we're like, oh, yeah, that makes sense, I guess. And they were like, do you want a glow stick? I'm like, not going to say no to a glow stick. So, yeah. And they were like offering people like cold water and like snacks and stuff. And so it was like, but everyone's just kind of, like standing out in the parking lot because the only light in that whole area, the whole area was black. The only light that was really coming was from like the moon, basically. And so it was a funny experience. And then we texted everyone who was out somewhere else, and we're like, if you're heading back to the hotel, it's a power outage. We're all standing in the parking lot like a bunch of weirdos. And but then it came back on.
Yeah.
Yeah, not very much
It didn't
later.
take very
Yeah.
long.
Like we walked up the stairs, and then I think maybe even before we got to our,
That's right. We said
Yeah,
we would
because Rick
chance
told
it.
you not to get in the elevator in case the power went out again.
I don't do well in confined spaces. And then it was I fired up the AC back to my normal. I love to crank. Now, at home, we can't keep the AC on too low because we have guinea pigs. They like it at a balmy 68 degrees. But when I'm at a hotel, the first thing I do, I crank that bad boy down to like 62 degrees. Because I think I'd really enjoy winter camping because I love to wrap myself up in a comforter and be really cold. And that's what I did. But that was my first thought when I'm like, oh crap, the power's out. The room is going to be
room's gonna
not
be hot.
chilly. So that was night one. Night one's always kind of a grab bag. People are coming in. You're getting settled. You're getting acclimated. The first wake up of a vacation is really the true, okay, now I'm here. I think I had breakfast down in the hotel lobby. You guys you all are really good about going out for breakfast and exploring. You guys were exploring every single day.
Yeah. We at least try to go out and get some coffee. That's one of our favorite things to do on vacation is to find the best coffee.
Yeah, and actually, as a funny aside, Boise is a coffee town. Oh my goodness!
They have better coffee than we do. I'm sorry to say.
I couldn't believe it when whenever we travel, we always search, okay, where's some good restaurants, where's some good breweries, and then I'm always like, where's some good coffee joints? Who's roasting cool beans? Who's doing something interesting? We like to. I just said cool beans. I haven't said
that was
since
amazing.
the
Cool
90s.
beans.
That was
We always like to buy bags of beans when we travel, and then when we come home, we make coffee at home, and we're like, oh, remember like going there? It's so sweet. And I just searched Roasteries Boise, and like 10 came up, like within walking distance of each other. I was like, what is going on in this town? Everyone is roasting their own beans. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So pretty much every single morning, we had a different place that we could go to for coffee.
Yeah. That's
yeah,
really
I think
cool.
the first day we went to Momentum the first morning.
I think so.
Momentum Coffee Roasters. We each had to do a little computer work and have some coffee, and then it was really nice.
Yeah. I love that. That's one really good thing. I love going to breweries, but I also love exploring coffee shops.
Yeah.
And that's a really good way to meet people too when you're out traveling, get suggestions for different things and all that stuff. So that's good. And then we were off to Cloud 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To enjoy some beer and some food. So that was a brew pub.
Yep.
And I thought their food was really good.
Yeah.
And they had a pretty eclectic list of beers.
Oh, yeah. They did.
And, when you sit down with this crowd, everybody, that's fun. I always love to sit across from Jeff because I like his Jeffisms. And, we start having some beers, having some food. And then you start talking and just weird conversations start coming up.
Yep.
And it was just really fun. I personally like the food better than the beer at Cloud 9.
Yep.
I think the food was a little bit more noteworthy. Not that the beer was bad, but I think one kind of constant thread throughout the whole trip was that the food was very good.
Yeah.
Yes. And another thing with Cloud 9 is they also had a little thing on the bottom that said, like, these are the local farmers that we work with. This is, like, where we source everything. I'm like, I love that. When I see that, when I go, like, as a chef, like, I see that at a place, I'm like, I trust you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a beet salad
Oh, yeah.
that was like the size of the Astrodome. And that really set the tone for regularity for the trip, but that was good. And then I got some tacos. I got a salmon taco and a chorizo taco.
Yeah.
Lots of chorizo there.
Yes.
I also did not know about the Spanish influence
Oh, yeah.
in Boise. So that was kind of an added bonus. We did a lot. So then we went to the Smurf Turf,
Yes.
Boise State University football stadium.
This was Dave's top destination, attraction, desire when we were planning the trip.
It was interesting.
Yeah.
I've seen the Smurf Turf on TV, and you're used to watching football, and you're used to green, either grass or AstroTurf or whatever kind of turf it is. And then you see blue, you're like, wow, I told you we should have got a Zenith. Something's wrong with the boob tube. And you start hitting the box and like, yeah, something's wrong with the clicker. No, it's
Don't
on
adjust
purpose.
your screens.
Do
That's
not
the
adjust your screen. This is supposed to be that way. So we did a tour.
Yeah.
And I think people were pretty amped to do that. I also enjoyed the fact that it was air conditioned.
Yes.
Because
We had walked a lot that
like
morning
you
already.
mentioned.
Yeah.
it was a bit of a scorcher.
It was
right?
warm.
a bit warm. Everybody kept saying it's a dry heat. 97 degrees is 97 degrees.
I
That's
disagree.
hot.
We had such a humid summer that it felt like a break to me. It was like
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, like, I felt like it felt like a totally different climate.
Yeah.
Like, you'd look at the number and you'd be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to be miserable. But I never was. It was hot, but I felt like I didn't sweat
Yeah, I think that's the big thing. The sweating is like, and especially let's just get on a podcast and talk about the weather.
That's right. Cripes.
Especially Minnesota, like southern Minnesota this summer was like every day the humidity was like over 80%. And it was like, even if it was like 75 degrees, you'd walk outside and you'd just like be just dripping. You're like, oh, this is brutal.
It was so thick.
It was thick, yeah. It's like, and there was something about being in Boise, which is high desert climate, where like I felt like we could walk around all day, and I'd be like, yeah, I'm sweating, but I'm not like uncomfortable. Like,
That's a good point.
And the minute you went in the shade, there was some relief.
yeah.
Well, and then in the evenings,
Oh,
it
yeah.
was really nice.
It was really nice.
Beautiful.
And the mornings, yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yes,
The football stadium was cool.
Yeah.
It was cool, and we had a really good tour guide.
Yeah.
I wish I would have written down his name, but he was very knowledgeable, very enthusiastic. He put up with my dumb jokes about when are they gonna get out the. Did I say Zamboni or did I say the riding mower? I can't remember
You
which.
said riding mower. It was hilarious.
Zamboni.
He was a very good tour guide. He was really good. Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. And then
We learned that it was the first non-green turf.
Yeah.
Like someone had the idea.
Some colorblind person, maybe. It's like, yeah, let's do it. What do you mean it's the wrong color? Oh, crap. Well,
And the company that put it in had never done it before. They had to
That's wild.
make it for that stadium.
Yeah.
And now
Oh.
other people have like red turf and stuff. But
yeah, well, they were the first.
yeah.
That was really cool. And that's where Marcus and Andrea met us.
Yes.
Yeah. Marcus was super pumped
Yes.
about the Smurf turf. Marcus is very much into college football and sports in general, but yeah, they enjoyed it. And then it was off to, okay, enough culture. Let's get some some
as Huck
some
would
cups
say,
of
why
barley
isn't there a
soup in
beer
us.
in my hand?
Yeah, right. Yeah, so then we were off to Mother Earth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mother Earth Brewing. I really like this
Me
place.
too. That was
I
really
thought
cool.
this was starting off with a bang. Getting out there, they had a really nice selection of different things. They had several IPAs, a lot of lagers, and some nice malty offerings. I think
Yep.
they had like a really good like coffee stout, a milk stout.
Milk stout.
They had a Russian Imperial stout that I really liked.
Yeah, they had some fruited beers. They had stuff on nitro. They even had like blends where it was like their own beers, but they would
Yeah.
recommend like two different beers together.
Yeah, kind of
I
like a
think
black and
was
tan kind of a
milk-
thing.
There was one that was like milk truck. It was like the milk stout and also the cream ale on
Yep.
nitro. Oh,
Yep.
that was really, really good.
Yeah.
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 So that was like, having fun, hanging out, enjoying.
Yeah.
And that was, I mean, it's always kind of like we do a lot, we pack in a lot. And it was kind of like, this was our day to kind of like get geared up. Usually the big day of these trips is Saturday. I feel like Saturday is kind of wall to wall. So this is Friday. So from there, we went to Payette Brewing.
Yeah.
And that was kind of an interesting place. They had a very large outdoor area, but it was hot. So we stayed indoors.
But they had the big. Oh no, they didn't have garage doors open. Never mind.
No, they had a little beer garden with games, but
Yeah.
it wasn't as robust as we imagined it was going to
Yeah.
be. And I think one interesting thing about Mother Earth and Payette are they both have, well, Mother Earth has another location that's outside of Idaho. It's in California.
Yeah.
And Payette, we found out, has some sort of brewing relationship with Upslope in Boulder.
Yeah.
So that
Oh,
was a
that's right.
theme
Yeah,
that we
'cause they
noticed
had-
was like some of the beers, some of the
yeah.
breweries, especially the ones we liked the most, they weren't, they were very, I mean, they were very Idaho. I mean, it felt like they were
Yeah.
local brands. It wasn't like
Yeah.
a chain coming in. But what we noticed is that some of the tap rooms that had maybe a little more design, a little more money, it's probably because they weren't just a total upstart, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
They've been around a little bit longer.
Yep.
They had other locations to kind of pool their resources. But I think that was an interesting theme between Mother Earth and Payette.
Yeah.
And when I went up to the bar at Payette, I thought it was really interesting because I was like confused a bit by their menu, but not in like a bad way, like just in like, oh, what do you recommend? Like, what do you like? And the bartender was like, oh, well, most of our beers are brewed at Upslope. And I was like, oh, up like in Colorado? And he was like, well, kind of, but we do brew here. And I was like, I don't really know, like,
What that means.
yeah, I was like, all right, well, cool. Like, it all sounds great. I'll do your I'll do your American lager. Like,
Interesting.
yeah. And that's when I came back and I was like, oh, are they like a subsidiary of Upslope or like what's the relationship or something? And like,
Yeah.
I don't think we ever fully
No,
got to the
I
bottom
think we
of that.
thought maybe their packaged beer was made at Upslope, but
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't do any more digging. But
Yeah.
I mean, it felt like a very local.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
not like a bad thing.
It's not like
just-
we were at like a Granite City or something.
Right,
It was
yeah.
definitely a local tap room.
and especially like with the way the beer industry is now, it's like everyone's getting creative about how to like make it work.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
lot of relationships like
Yeah.
that.
Earlier in the summer when I interviewed Chip Walton,
Yeah.
or Chap Wilton,
Chap Wilton.
depending on which alias you want to go with. We were talking about that, different breweries getting creative, and then we were like, our breweries going to start, or some of the smaller breweries going to have to start pooling their resources together to cut down on costs or be able to get better prices on grain, or and then like maybe a couple weeks later, Liftbridge announced that they and Hop and Barrel were doing some sort of a merger type thing. And he's like, this is kind of what we were talking about. And I'm like, yeah, because why would you want to be a small fish in a big ocean all by yourself if you can get together with a couple other small fish and have a school of small fish? Then you stand a chance in navigating some of these tougher economic situations.
Totally.
And so Payette was good. There was a pretty tasty food truck out there. Mm-hmm. There were pizzas. There were burgers. I got a burger.
I got a
burger was
pizza.
delicious.
Pizza took a long time, but it was really good. It was really good.
And I saw that pizza guy later on.
Yeah, we did too.
At Barbarian.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
So from Payette, it was over to Lost Grove.
That's what I was just going to say. We tied that one on.
We looped that in. And so that was...
I liked Lost Grove.
So Cloud9, Mother Earth, Payette, Lost Grove. That was a 4-brewery day.
Yep.
Pretty respectable. Mm-hmm. And they had some good live music. I really liked the band that was playing outside.
And they had a really good variety of beer, even though it wasn't like a big list.
Yeah.
It was a really interesting
all
variety.
High quality, I thought.
I thought their beers were great. We ended up going back one more time.
Okay. Yeah. And that was, we hung out and I'm like, oh my gosh, I saw they had pizzas. I looked at one of the pizzas that somebody had ordered. I'm like,
It looked so good.
I wish I were still hungry. Mm-hmm. Because, again, kind of along that trend, it seemed like every place we went that did food, it looked really good.
Yeah.
And it tasted really good. Yeah. So that was kind of fun. We kind of like hung out outside listening to music. The first night got cooler. When we were waiting for our lift back to the hotel, I swear to God, I saw a cat and I went after it. They're like, there's no cat, Dan. What are you doing? And
At the brewery?
Yeah, waiting outside. I think Hamilton was like, the lift is coming in 1 minute, so be back. I'm like, no, I think I saw the cat.
That's a theme because at the end of Louisville, we found those. Well, Jeff was looking for the cats.
Yes.
Remember that? But he could never find it.
At Gravely?
Gravely?
Highwire?
No.
No, we went to Highwire after Gravely.
Yeah, that's right.
I think it was Gravely. The one with the music, the drum set.
Yep. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Mystery cats.
He was quite upset that he couldn't find the cat. And then we were like, well, this is the most animosity we're going to encounter all night. Then we went to Highwire and it was like, hey, Mr. Congeniality. Not. It's like, hey, caramba. So
I think more breweries should have cats.
Absolutely.
I've seen, so Second Shift in
that's
St.
the
Louis.
famous one.
They have a cat. They also have like a parakeet.
What?
They have a bird.
They don't.
They have a brewery cat.
Eat birds,
and well, as long as you keep the bird in the cage, I think it's fine. So that Wiley Roots out in Greeley, Colorado, has a brewery cat, and then Gravely has a cat. I wonder how many other. I mean, there's
a distillery cats is a theme as well.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
I've not
it
seen
stands to reason that you'd want a cat because if you've got large amounts of grain, and to keep the mice out of there.
Yeah.
And then it was, 40 winks back at the hotel. Mm-hmm. Get ready for the next day, which Saturday, always the big day of these trips. And we started off at 10 Barrel, which
it's
remember that service?
That was.
I'd say service with a smile, but it was the complete opposite of that.
What was his name again?
I don't know. Well, he
didn't want anything to do with us.
I think he wanted to pass us off
it.
to somebody else. Yeah. That was part of the
issue. He had to go plug his meter before he even poured us beers. Remember that? He sat us all down, and then he's like, I got to go plug my meter. Like, first of all, lie to me.
Okay, just be honest. Just say you don't want our section.
Or send a bartender over.
We're not going to have any substitutions.
That was amazing.
That was funny.
He looked at our table, and he was just like, no.
I can't do this
I don't
today.
want this.
I can't handle
for this.
I can't handle these maniacs.
We hadn't even had anything to drink at that point.
Right,
no,
I know.
No.
Well, I was like, I don't want to confuse them, so I'm going to get one beer and that'll be it. I thought the beer at 10 Barrel, the beer was good. I had a rice lager. That was a theme of our trip. I don't know what the percentage was, but it seemed like around 85% of the breweries that we went to had a Japanese rice lager.
There were only one or two that didn't. I thought we talked about,
Mm-hmm. But I thought the food was really good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just kind of like, I got some sort of, it was like a Korean beef bulgogi bowl.
Yes.
That's right.
Oh, that was, I still think about that.
Yeah.
In my journal in the night, Rick, I write about this. And it had rice.
As you should.
Peas, and it was so good. But that was great. But yeah, service not very good. I was observing another party of 3 came in, and there were quite a few open tables because we
it
were
was
there
a big
right
place.
away.
We were there at like 11:30
Yeah.
or noon.
And this lady was like, "We'd like to sit there." He's like, "Yeah, I can't." She wanted to sit by like the open window and get some of the
No, we're not doing
breeze.
that.
He's like, "No, that is not open." And I'm like, "What is that part of your corporate structure where you only hire assholes who won't? They want to only have like 2.5 out of 5-star reviews? What's going on here? Do better, 10 Barrel." But 10 Barrel's also, I think if they're not still owned by AB InBev, they were at a time.
Yeah, they were at a time.
were at a
I
time,
thought
yeah.
they...
Are they now independent again?
Yes, or they're part of an independent group.
Because
Yeah.
the mothership is in Bend, Oregon.
Yeah, and they also they did have a location in Denver.
Okay.
Because I thought Jeff and Chris said that they used to go to the one in Denver, but it might not be there anymore.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. So, when sometimes those bigger brands can be really awesome or really anti-climactic
Totally
or
agree.
kind of disappointing.
I mean, I think about the time we went to, it's been years, but we went to like the original Goose Island together. Paige and I went in Chicago, and we were in Chicago. We're like, whatever, like, let's just give it a whirl. Who cares? We know the beer is going to be good. The food was whatever. It's bar
Pub food, yeah.
Pub food. And nothing, not like a beef bulgogi bowl that you're going to write about in your journal at night.
Yeah.
But we sat at the bar. We had a flight. The service was actually pretty good, but it's also like, I expect that. I mean, I would expect that a conglomerate as enormous as AB InBev is going to have really like high level training for their staff.
Right.
Because like you're not just representing Goose Island, you're representing all the brands at that point, right? So it's like your people need to be knowledgeable, they need to be friendly, they need to be passionate. Like there's probably a lot that goes into training when you work at a place like that.
Yeah.
And, that's not to say that 10 Barrel going back to an independent group changes that, but sometimes you don't know.
Okay, let's ditch that corporate structure and manners and let's just be assholes, guys.
Yeah.
Right.
That's right.
Right. And you never know. I mean, like some corporate places you go to, they're fantastic. And other places you're like, this is just very soulless. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we finished up lunch and then we were headed to Clairvoyant.
Right. We were doing a little tour of Garden City,
Yep,
which
so-
is kind of a sister city of Boise. They don't even really feel separated. They feel like one and the same, but
Yeah.
Garden City is a little more up and coming.
Very
It's
much so.
A little bit northwest of Boise, and we knew we were going to be over there for a while.
the green belt.
Yeah, the Riverwalk.
So we should say the Riverwalk's green belt is kind of like a path that kind of runs throughout the entire city.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
It kind of went by our hotel.
We
and
took it
then,
from a hotel. Yeah.
Yeah, actually we
30 miles in total.
Yeah.
And we used it every day, multiple times a day, actually. Usually on Lime scooters, we found that we could get, yeah.
We climbed it up.
Yeah, we limed it
We were
up.
making
But-
guacamole the transportation way.
But we found that thing, talking about Boise and how cool that city was, that connector connected everything. I mean, we could get on that thing and go anywhere we wanted. It was kind of crazy and
And it was beautiful.
Yeah.
beautiful. Yeah, it was like wildflower gardens everywhere and like pollinators and
And the
like
water was
parks
right
and
there.
water and like people jumping off bridges into the river. I was like, this is like in a good way, in a fun way.
It was one big juicy fruit commercial.
It was, yeah, exactly. No, seriously. Like we were like, where are we? This place is bizarre.
Yeah.
Like, it's beautiful.
It's very bikeable. I wish I would have
yes.
had a bike.
Yeah,
I mean,
us
that
too.
would have been
Yeah.
so fun.
Yeah. Well, and we were saying that too. Like when the three of us were hanging out post conference, we were like, "Man, renting a bike would be just killer in this town."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've been so scared to do a Lime scooter.
I know.
But I'm like, everybody else is doing it. I'm like, okay, fine. I'm by myself. If I biff it, nobody's going to see. And I did it, and I'm like, oh, this isn't so bad. So I was liming my way around.
Yeah.
Later in the trip, Clairvoyant was interesting. So I got the sense after I can't remember who it was. Was it Dave or somebody had talked to the people? Because they only had 3 beers on tap.
I know, and like that came really highly recommended as like the insiders beer place, and I
Yeah.
felt really bad for bringing everyone there.
And what we came to find out was they had just expanded. So
Yeah,
they just got a bunch
their
of new
brew
tanks.
house, yeah.
So they were kind of like, they must have pressed pause on new brewing and we're probably serving all the beer that they had. So as a result of that, it was only 3-4 beer
beers,
options.
yeah.
They had a neat patio, but again, at that point, the two sons of Tatooine were beating down upon us, and we didn't want to sit outside.
There was no shade.
But I remember they did have a fun game. I don't know the name.
What is that
it's
called?
the
Washer on a string.
Washer on a string.
Yeah.
But this was extreme, and I remember Chris Estes was like, "Oh, I studied under Scott Clark, so I know this game." And it was everybody took a turn. It was pretty fun. We didn't stay long
No, we knew we had bigger and better things to do.
because we were headed to Barbarian Brewing.
Right. Then we cracked into the heart of Garden City.
Yeah, and Garden City, from what I can understand, is like 10 years ago, it was just basically trailer parks
Pretty
and
much.
crime.
Yeah.
Now it's very nice,
Yeah.
and I think actually my second half of the stay, my Airbnb was like a 3-minute
That's
walk
right.
from the Greenbelt. It was very
Yeah.
cool. Barbarian Brewing was really fun. They had a great variety of beers. I thought the beers were high quality. Tons of people there. It was a good energy, and we went there.
Yeah.
I got like multiple flights because I
yeah.
kind of wanted
Yeah.
to try everything, and they had like
They had over
16
20 beers
Yeah,
on tap.
20 beers on tap.
I think I counted. It was over 20. And they were also, if I remember correctly, maybe it's just because it was a Saturday, they were also offering like pours from bottles of their like barrel aged stuff. Because I remember seeing people getting like adding that to their flight and be like, oh, here's a little, 4 ounce of our whatever barrel aged imperial stout.
Yeah, that was a neat spot. I went back again.
Yeah, we
later
did too.
on
We
in the
did too.
trip.
Yeah.
So that was kind of fun. It's also nice if you're going to travel someplace. I really don't think you can really get the sense of a beer town in just a handful of days. I think you need a week.
Yeah.
I know it's hard for if you got work and whatever, but like if you're going to a new beer city, I think you at minimum 7 days to
Well,
really
and it
just
might depend on the
do it.
size of the city, but I mean, this town has a lot of beer, and it really runs the gamut from extremely traditional to, I would say, Barbarian had the most like hypey beers. Not that it was the newest place or the most modern, but the beers which we heard from other people who lived there, worked there, that they're known for, having the wackiest beers. We did have a couple of the wacky beers. I had one made with like cheesecake mix. Not really my go-to, but when you can get something in a 3-ounce pour, I mean, you might as well try the cheesecake beer.
Right.
Exactly. Well, it's kind of funny because we had quite the juxtaposition between Barbarian and then going to the next place, Burt's Brewing.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
Which was all classic European styles done incredibly well.
Well, and even the tap room felt so different too.
Yep.
I mean,
Right.
it was very modern. It was really relaxed, but I mean, it was
Barbarian
very,
kind of felt like you were at like some sort of roadhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was waiting for somebody to come in with like a moose on their shoulders and slam it down and begin field dressing it right there. It was like, anybody want a haunch of meat? And Burt's was very modern, very clean, very bright.
Yeah.
Like all their branding, even the shirts, because I bought one. And Rick, you're wearing
one right
a
now,
Burt's shirt right now.
Yeah, right now.
But just like really just like fun, vibrant colors, the neons, all the glassware. They had the right glassware for each beer.
Yep.
They had at least 1 or 2 side pours.
and
Just
also really good variety.
Yes.
Just not as wacky.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they came highly recommended by a number of people. Like at other breweries, when we'd say like, "Hey, who should we check out?" Consistently, folks are like, "Go to Burt's." They're the new kids on the block, and they are doing an amazing job. And we wandered over there like the group of goofballs that we always
Most of
are.
us walked, some of us limed.
Some of us
Yeah.
limed, and because it was a really short walk from Barbarian.
oh yeah, it was
like
just right
5
across
minutes.
that busy street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The longest
That
part
was
waiting.
tricky.
in
There
the
was no
street.
lights, so
Like
you really
Frogger.
were taking your life in your hands by getting over there. But yeah, I thought that was awesome. I wound up going there 2 more times.
Cool.
Because the beers were just great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like really, really good. And
They had a really good food truck too.
that's right.
yeah.
The tacos.
The pastor. And I was like, wait, $7 for a taco? That seems like
Yeah,
a
that's-
ridiculous idea, but it was worth
Very good.
every cent.
Yeah.
It was so delicious. When I went back the second time, I was talking to the bartender. He's like, we've only been here for 6 months. It was a different brewery before. I think it was Idlewild.
Yeah.
And it had kind of changed over, but they're doing really good stuff. And then we walked 2 blocks
to a
back
totally
towards the city.
Oh, yeah.
To
something
this,
we'd walked by and thought it looked wild.
Yeah,
so
it was
That
kind of
was-
a collective.
yeah.
The what was
Western
it called?
Collective,
Western Collective.
which had a couple of brands that were like
Yep.
operating out of there, including wasn't there a seltzer brand
Yep.
and at least
Well,
one brewery?
there was I had a beer from Edge Brewing.
That's right, Edge.
Yeah.
That was there, and they had like a live DJ out there playing every song I've ever danced to when I was in middle school.
Yep.
At a dance, it was like R&B, hip hop, great mix. We were having fun. So many people out there playing yard games.
And they
There
had
was
squirt
water
guns.
Squirt guns.
Yeah, that's
Which,
right.
for being that close to a DJ, made me nervous, but we did
Yeah.
enjoy playing with some
Giant Jenga, squirt guns. I mean, just anything. And like they weren't even that busy.
Yeah.
But it was like, come here, hang out, have a good time.
They were getting set up for a comedy show.
Yeah.
That's
It was
right.
the type of place that really I think resonated with a lot of us in terms of how much fun craft beer can be, because
Yeah.
we get snobby, we get stuffy. We talk about at Burt's, being wow, the design, and we get into that, the proper glassware and the side pulls and the traditional styles, and then to go from that to just get wacky, get fun. Who cares? Here's squirt guns, and they just had buckets of water. They're just fill up the squirt gun and have fun, kids.
Yeah.
And a DJ that's just
several of us had slushies at that point.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
Slushies,
yeah. We kind of.
like-
Well, that's what I love about that. The Saturday is just kind of all right. Yeah, at the beginning of the day, well, I love the attenuation of this little locker here. It's just real great. You can see through
by
it.
8 p.m.
It's bubbly.
Is
It's
this a
like,
single hop?
hey, where's that sticker? It's kind of you're trying to moon people out of the lift. This is just great. You're drinking slushies. You're doing shots of all sorts of weird stuff, and it just winds up being kind of a all out free for all of joy.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, speaking of free-for-alls of joy, I'm staring at a couple empty glasses. So let's go refuel, make sure we don't go thirsty when we come back. We'll talk about the tail end of the conference and then some of the other things to do in Boise that we experienced. You're listening to A One Pint Stand, and I'm here with my great friends, Rick and Paige. We are recapping our trip to Boise, Idaho.
It started as a one-night stand. I had 2 pints for a lonely hand. Bounced back like a rubber band for 3 pints. Drank a fourth in the faraway land, but I couldn't make it as a single man. So I married me this beer right here. A pint, a one-pint stand.
Hey, thank you so much for listening. Hopefully you're enjoying A One Pint Stand. My aim is to help spread the word about craft beer. Enjoying craft beer is a passion of mine, and I love chatting about it with other people. A One Pint Stand has a goal of helping breweries tell their stories. I love to get out in and beyond Minnesota to visit breweries, beer bars, and meet other interesting beer people. If you're also into those things, you'll probably want to keep tabs on the show. So go ahead and follow A One Pint Stand on Instagram, Facebook, and Blue Sky. I also started a TikTok account because I was tired of Charles calling me a boomer for not having one. I'd also appreciate any and all positive reviews on Spotify, Apple Music, or wherever you listen to your podcasts so that other craft beer listeners can find us. If you want to be a supporter of the podcast with some extra change that you find in your couch cushions, I have a Patreon. There are 3 different monthly levels of support, and they're priced at $1, $3, or $5 a month. If you pledge at the $3 or $5 monthly level, you get some pretty cool perks. So go to patreon.com and search A One Pint Stand to check it out. We're up to 28 supporters, and I'm really excited for what that means for the show. If you like reading about craft beer, check out my written work on aonepintstand.com. I love to write, and that's where you'll find all the written content covering both the local beer happenings as well as my craft beer travels. I truly appreciate you listening and taking time to enjoy our stories. Now, before we head back to the show, I want to talk about this episode's sponsor, Unmapped Brewing Company. Unmapped is a community gathering place for the Glen Lake neighborhood. They have award-winning beers that span the whole continuum of flavors. From the Purgatory Pills to the No Trace IPA, whatever kind of a mood you're in, they've got you covered. Their taproom and patio is dog-friendly. They have seltzers, NA options, and THC beverages. If you're looking to host a gathering, Unmapped is a great place to do that too. If you're an early riser, you definitely need to check out their Base Camp coffee shop to start your day with a sip of a great cup of coffee. If you're a teacher like me, you definitely have to partake in their teacher happy hour every Wednesday. If you show your teacher badge, you get happy hour pricing on your beverages. I cannot say enough great things about Unmapped Brewing Company. Their staff create a memorable and quality craft beer experience. Cheers.
How about a beer?
We're back for the second half of our Boise Beercation Conference Bonanza wrap-up.
Yeah.
And again, I'm being joined by some of my favorite people to travel with, Rick and Paige. And we left off talking about our Saturday brewery adventures at the Western Collective. And then we had to go back to downtown.
Yeah.
Because we needed some food.
Yes.
And we were going to the warehouse.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a indoor, kind of a food court, if you will. A lot of different varieties of food hall. A lot of different varieties of food. Sometimes, when faced with a lot of options, some people thrive, and others metaphorically curl up in a ball and become a 3-year-old. We had both types represented amongst our group. I was really excited for some barbecue. I did the barbecue place. Do you remember what you all had?
I had barbecue also.
You
I
also
had
did
ribs.
barbecue.
I did like 4 laps, and actually they had this bar in there.
There's the ball.
There it is.
They had this bar in there, and I just briefly looked at they were like craft cocktails. I was like, well, we've been drinking beer all day. I should probably have a cocktail.
Yeah.
Terrible influence. But they had an old fashioned that sounded really good, and I was like, you know what, let's do it. And so it took like 10 minutes for them to make it. They were like, you can come back. I was like, okay. So I did my 3rd lap, and one place kept standing out to me, and that was this place that was like Basque Vietnamese.
Basque Vietnamese, yeah.
And I was like, man, there's some foods that combine, and I was like, I don't even know where to begin with that. So I ended up getting it was a banh mi, but it had,
Wasn't that a Lionel Richie song? Banh you, banh me. Thank you very much.
It was, now I'm forgetting though what
made it Basque?
I can't remember what made it Basque though. It'll come to me and I'll just like blurt it out later.
Did it have lamb in it?
No, it was like a char siu banh mi.
Oh, yeah.
And then there was, I cannot remember now like what the Basque element of it was.
Yes, okay.
That's why I probably shouldn't have had a cocktail.
So you went back for the cocktail after 10 minutes?
Yeah, and then so then I got the cocktail. You tried it too; it was a good cocktail. And then I got the banh mi, and I remember lamenting to people, I'm like, I'm obsessed with these sandwiches.
Yeah.
They're so good. They're so I've been eating them for years, and like I've only really found a handful that I don't like.
Yeah.
I feel like it's one of the most perfect sandwiches there is.
Now we're in Minnesota. There's so many good banh mi places. Do you
So
have
many.
What's your go-to?
Well, this is like recorded, so that's kind of stressful. I do really like. I do really like Lou's, for sure. I feel like the South location is better than the Northeast one. Whatever. Honestly, one of my go-tos when I just want to grab one is at United Noodle. They have a few different like flavors and varieties or whatever, but they're just like classic banh mi is fantastic. It's pretty cheap. You just like grab it. They're ready for you. You just like walk up, grab it.
Oh, that's
go.
awesome.
Yeah. To me, the banh mi, the best thing about it is they're convenient. They're like, it's like a good, cheap, convenient sandwich. So you can just grab. There you go. That's lunch.
Yeah. Have you ever been to Misant?
No.
I've heard really good things.
So
We've talked about going.
I would recommend going there.
It's in St. Paul, right?
Well, they have one in Roseville, and there's
Oh.
one in like one of the northern burbs.
Okay.
They're
Oh, yeah. Isn't it where like Good Earth used to be?
yes, it's
Yeah.
the same
Yeah,
location as where the Good
We've
Earth used
talked
to be.
about going. We haven't been.
I think they have fantastic banh mi's. They have like traditional and then different ones, but also they do amazing croissant.
Croissant.
They have a Dubai chocolate croissant and it is delicious. It is so good.
Okay.
Texturally, flavor-wise, and the croissant is flaky butter. It's all the
That's
good
good.
things. So, like, and I've had their noodle bowls, their spring rolls. Like, it's just a really neat place.
Hell yeah.
So, put
Nice.
that on your list of banh mi locations.
Yeah. It's actually funny. A few years ago, I was at one of the big Asian grocers in St. Paul. We just drove by it the other day.
Dragon food.
Dragon Star?
Yeah,
Dragon
that's the one.
Star. And I was in there just picking up some random stuff, and I saw that they had banh mi's, and I grabbed one, and I was like, man, this is like, I was eating it in the car, and I just had like crust everywhere. I was like, I'm going to need to
Thanks, babe.
hit the vacuum after this. But that actually got me kind of on this thing where I was like, man, how fun would that be to just like bop around the Twin Cities and just like try to get all your favorite like either grocery store or just like great banh mi's.
Yeah.
And so I plotted out a few restaurants, but I haven't done it yet. Now we're on this kick where we got to find the best coffee in the Twin Cities, which is
Oh.
kinda
It's
daunting.
honestly probably because of Boise.
Yeah?
Yeah.
see
Where do you-
that's
Okay. That would be... That could be a fun adventure.
I know.
yeah.
A really fun adventure.
I'm hoping so.
Yeah. You're really good at bringing things back full circle.
No. I'm serious. I was
No,
like,
you're right.
after being in Boise, which like per capita or whatever the hell that means, I felt like their coffee there was so good.
Yeah.
On Saturday, we went to Form and Function
Yeah.
Coffee, which the location we went to in our hotel later on was terrible. Just like there was no one working. It was a mess.
Yeah.
But
The coffee was still good if you could get
the
a cup.
downtown, the main location downtown Form and Function was amazing.
Okay.
We worked there for a while, and then we brought beans home. We're about to finish them.
Got a little bit left, yeah.
So good. Really, really good coffee. We had good coffee the whole trip.
Yeah, I kind of... I
that
go
on
back and
Friday?
forth when
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
by myself. I like to venture out, but at the hotel, I just, because of the convenience factor, I'm just like, all right, I'll suck it up and have the...
Well, that's your coffee to get you going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need
and-
to have that first cup that's just like, that'll get you out the door to get a better cup of coffee.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I was doing. But when I'm off on my own, staying at the Airbnb, I did wind up finding this like cool little indie coffee shop
Push and pour.
owned by Push
We
and
went
Pour.
to their location at the farmers market. It was amazing.
Okay,
They were
yeah.
really good.
I thought
Really
their coffee
good.
was
Yeah,
awesome.
we were going to go to that location too, but then when we saw them at the farmers market, we were like, let's do it here.
I love like cold brew, cold press, whatever you want to call it. Push and Pour had probably like one of my top 3s of the whole year.
Oh wow,
Yeah, like I took
that's
one.
saying something.
I took one sip and I was like, I gotta sit down. This is incredible. Like this is like just a remarkable.
Did you say I'm busting, Jerry? I'm busting.
Almost, yeah. I was like, then, oh man,
That was really good.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, the coffee was great. The vibe was great, and they had like a little kind of like flat top situation, so they could make breakfast tacos and breakfast
love
sandwiches.
it.
They were really good.
Yeah.
That was another thing. Like every place you went, if you got chorizo, it was really good
Because
chorizo.
there's a few places in town that make their own.
yeah.
Yeah.
God, that was marvelous.
Yeah.
Just so yummy.
What
so
was the one
tasty.
started with an A? The one that was on the Aaron French TV show.
Oh yeah.
Anschutz? Chorizo.
Like that,
So they
yeah,
make, there's
yeah.
companies that make it there
Okay.
because of the Basque
God,
heritage.
that was so crazy, and I had no idea. I mean, I
Ansatz,
thought
I think
I thought
it's
every
called.
place we were going to have, everything was going to be served in a potato.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
no,
was my
actually,
the biggest
I was surprised
misconception
by
I
that.
had about that place.
Don't get me wrong, we ate a lot of potatoes.
That's
Oh,
right,
yeah.
we certainly did. So then, one of my highlights of the food hall was watching Jeff.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he was having an existential crisis about what to have for dinner. And he came back to the table several times, and we all had our food. He's
You
like,
wanted to see what everyone was
oh,
getting.
well, that looks good. And then he wound up getting something. He's like, I chose poorly.
Yeah.
I'm like, you had all these options.
I've been there.
That was kinda
I've
funny.
been that person.
And didn't he get like a second thing because he was just like, I don't want to eat this.
That's
He
right.
did. He's like,
We're
yeah,
like,
this is
you do
good.
you, boo.
This is
Like-
horrible. I'm going to go get something else.
He got something. I was like, you're at a food hall.
Yeah. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
It was your banh mi that inspired me the next morning when we went to Boise brewing for brunch. Wasn't breakfast, I guess.
Yeah.
But like I got their banh mi.
Uh-huh.
That was really yummy.
Yeah.
Like that was very, very good. French bread.
Yeah.
Like
The bread-
like
the bread is
everything. That's like the
so
biggest.
There's a lot of good bread in that town.
Yeah.
And bakeries. We went to a bakery the next morning that was a Guy Fieri and Aaron French recommendation
That's right, yeah.
called Sunshine Spice. That's run by women from Afghanistan,
Afghanistan, yep.
immigrants.
And she has a James Beard Award?
She has a James Beard nomination. I don't know if she won.
Yeah.
But it was
Okay.
incredible. I mean, just like the Middle Eastern spices. I mean, I know I'm painting with a broad brush here because I'm not an expert, but like the pistachio, the rose, just those really traditional, Middle Eastern desserts, spices. It was really, really
Yum.
good.
And
Yeah.
just like really, I mean, the type of place where you walk in, they have the display, and it wrapped around the whole thing. I mean, they probably had like 50 different things.
It was
Oh,
like
wow.
a traditional pastry case, but then they also had other things you could order too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, so many times, especially with like American patisseries, it's like all they do is French. It's like it's French.
Yep.
That's it. You might get a little Italian flair in there, but it's like and that's great. French patisserie is fantastic. But to walk into a place like that and they're like very like they're like, we are very proud of our heritage and we're
Yeah.
very proud of what we're making.
I'd love to see more of that.
Yeah, and I'm like,
That's really
I'm like,
cool.
can we have more of this?
Yeah.
But we went to was it their original location?
Yeah, their original
'Cause then
location,
they
which
had
is a little, it's in Garden City. It was a little ways. We had to take an Uber.
Yeah, because then they had another like a smaller thing downtown. I think.
Yeah, but it was only open like during, business
Yeah,
hours, you know,
yeah.
like to cater to downtown people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Well, after the food hall, we went back to the hotel, and then some of us went to the refuge
Oh yeah.
to seek refuge in more beers, and that was kind of funny because I was like, are they still open?
Yeah.
Are they closed? And the server kept coming around. She's like, well, basically, it's up to the bartender. Whenever they get annoyed, that's when we kick you out.
Oh my gosh.
Well, in that case, I'll have another brewski. So that was kind of fun. Winding down the night. Next day, get up. Sunday is usually the
Wait,
day.
did you guys not go to White Dog that night, or was that the following night?
Oh, no. You're right. We went to
You
White
tied
Dog.
another one on.
Right, because we're like, 5 breweries isn't enough.
Right.
We're going to do
Because I remember I walked over to Hyaldi to walk around over there, see what was going on, and then I met up
Yeah.
with you guys a little while later.
That's right. Okay, we did wind up going to White Dog. And then we played that game.
Yeah, the game that Michelle had brought.
That was super fun.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was called. So
It
this is
was
not gonna
kind
be
of
very
like
good
apples to
podcasting.
apples.
Yeah.
But in a different way. It was more, if I remember correctly, it was more adult themed.
I'm a little.
I think
yeah.
it could be whatever you
Yeah.
wanted because
But
we're
because
adults.
we were at our 6th
unfortunately.
brewery of the day,
Right.
it was
Right.
like more of a modern version of porno
That's what I
password
was
from the
gonna
movie
say.
Cable Guy. The word is nipple. It was just kind of an
There's that
interesting.
bartender that's just
He
like.
was over our shoulder.
Oh, he was
amazing.
When I had got there, you guys warned me not to get a half pour
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Somebody
he
got a half pour and he would not stop giving them shit for it.
because
He
they
was
just
it
fill
was-
the glass halfway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't have half glasses. He
No.
was just like, "Oh, you want a half a beer? Fine." And he'd just like give you a half full pint glass and
It's so
charge you
funny.
like full price. You'd be like, "All right."
Yeah, this is how we stay open in these trying economic times. Yeah, so that was kind of fun. Again, another Japanese rice lager
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
Which was
Not-
nice
I
because
mean-
when you're doing 6 breweries in a day, you don't want to be drinking.
Oh yeah, I'm
like,
always looking for the lowest
hefty,
ABV.
yeah,
Oh my
hefty
gosh.
beers. To sit around, play a game, just
Yeah.
like chill.
We were like the only people in there.
Yeah. There were people at the bar. Yeah, then it was back to the refuge for
Yes.
Yes.
more beer, and then the more sensible members of the group went to bed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then we, next day.
I joined for one, and
That's
when I
right.
sat down, they said
I
"It's
went to
last
watch
call."
a Guy Fieri marathon in the hotel.
Yes, you watched Guy Fieri. Yeah, well, because I sat down and they were like, oh yeah, like we serve until the bartenders are kind of like over it. And I was like, all right. And I ordered a beer, and she's like, anyways, so the bartenders are kind of over it. This is gonna be last call, and we're like, well, that's
I'm
probably
sure that has
fine.
nothing to do with us.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was time to call it a night. After
Yeah.
6 breweries is a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
I mean, and none of us
I mean,
were
we
driving.
spaced it out.
Oh, yeah.
We had
Some people
short
were
pours.
scootering, which
mean-
talk about taking your life in your hand after
I would say
4+ breweries.
some of us were having short pours.
I was. I'm
Yeah.
speaking for
we-
myself
I know,
here.
like I
I was like, oh, 3%? Yeah, I'll have half of one of those.
Yeah. Which, if you do the math, that's like 1.5%. I mean, it's just
come on.
simple
Are you a
math.
math
Simple
teacher,
math.
Dan?
Yeah, I shouldn't be. Some kids will ask me, "Can you help me with this?" I'm like, "No, I cannot. I don't know how to solve for y. I got a better chance of slam dunking a basketball than solving for y." Next day, Boise Brewing. I thought their beers were really, really good.
Yeah.
Their
Yeah.
food was really, really good.
Yep.
And that was kind of like, beginning of the last day. After a 6-brewery day, I like that we have kind of like an easier schedule. I went there for lunch, and then it was kind of free time to chill. I wound up going back to Boise because I wanted their stout again. It was
You mean a different day?
Yeah,
Yeah.
a different, No, after everybody went back to the hotel, I put on a different hat and then came back. I don't know, I've never been here before. My name is Nigel. I'll take the stout. I'm a cheeky lad. Can I have one of those burgers, please? And a mountain of tater tots. No, I wound up going back there, I think I had to kill some time before I could check in to my Airbnb from the
That's
hotel,
right.
so I did wind up going there the next day.
Yeah.
I thought their food was really good. Again,
Yeah, I thought their
That
food was
was,
really
like,
good.
the
I can't
big
remember what
thing.
I got, but I remember really liking it.
Yeah.
Really
somebody
liking
got a turkey burger that was like the size of
it. Is that Dave?
the old USSR. It was ginormous, and I'm like, wow, that looks
We shared
yummy.
some things because
We
we
shared
were
things,
passing
yeah.
things around.
You
the
got
table.
you got an elote
like a-
something. or
Yeah,
other.
we got like
balls.
elote balls.
Fritters.
Yeah, they're like elote fritters. Those are really good. That's a
Yeah,
nice,
their
I
food
think
was
it's
really,
good.
really good. And they had specials on for Aldi, which I thought was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we had some free time. Some people went back to the hotel. You went to the botanical
We
gardens,
did.
didn't you?
Yes.
It was
Yeah.
beautiful. It was really, that's the thing we always do when we travel. I mean, we try, every place we go, we try to visit a botanical garden. It's just kind of like
And a state capital, right?
well, we've done some state capitals, but
Yeah.
that's not at
Okay.
the top of our list. We usually try
Yeah.
to find a coffee roaster, which was not hard in Boise,
Yeah.
a botanical garden, and then some form of live music. That's kind of our
Yeah.
way of navigating places. But yeah, we did the capital
We
a
did
few
the
days
Capitol,
later.
yep.
But yeah, I know a lot of people on our trip, I think, made it
Yeah.
through the capital.
And the botanical garden was fantastic. I mean, better than they're all fantastic.
They're all
But
different.
They're all different. Like
Yeah.
and what was interesting about the one in Boise was just it was like stuff we've never seen before. Because again, that high desert climate, like it's like there's plants growing that are like. There was one thing in particular where we were like, this is the same species that
Right.
we grow in Minnesota. Looks totally different in
Right.
Boise because the elevation is higher and it's drier and there's less moisture, and so the plant itself adapts, and that's fascinating. That's why I think that's part of like one of the reasons why we like doing botanical gardens, because you learn so much about like how climate and that affects different plants and how things
Yeah.
grow and where things grow and all that stuff. Yeah.
And this one was built on the grounds of the old penitentiary.
Yeah, yep.
Which is a big tour. Like if you search Boise, that's like one of the top like tourist attractions. See the old penitentiary. So we didn't actually go. Am I saying that word right? Penitentiary.
Yep.
How many syllables?
Yeah, see, here's how I remember to say that
Jail.
that word is because sometimes somebody's being does a pun. I'll be like, one more line like that, I'll stick you in the punitentiary.
I think you just put yourself in the penitentiary.
Don't you have a button to make that
I
noise?
probably
Oh
do.
my
yeah.
gosh, he'll find it. He'll find it. No, that's
And
even better.
welcome to Beer and Plants. We're in prison at the Botanical Gardens.
So it's on the grounds of the old prison, which is like, so they kind of alley-oop the attractions together. You know, I think if you're there, you probably do both. I was not really interested in seeing a penitentiary, but the Botanical Garden has also an outdoor stage that's
Yeah.
kind of in between the two attractions. So they get big crowds there for that. Big acts, actually.
Yeah, pretty big names were
But the
performing
thing
there.
about the garden was like it's on the ground, so it talks about like the executions and like the prison garden and the prison cellar and like. So it's a bit of a weird like emotional roller coaster, but it's also cool because it's the first botanical garden I've been to that's like terraced, like the whole thing is on the like in the foothills kind of the mountains, so there's no flat area really. And I also thought it was cool that they had a native section.
Yep.
And so like natives meaning native to America, but also native to that part of America. And then adjacent to that, they had a exhibit on how to fireproof how to use landscaping to increase like fireproofing on your property.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
Because
sure.
this is getting a lot of attention lately with the wildfires like in LA. Like LA is talking about we're going to take out all of our palm trees because those just become like incendiary devices every time they have a
Right.
fire. And it was an exhibit about like taking it one step further and trying to be like anti-fire and like what can we do to cut back on that. So that's something I'd never seen before. But then they also had like a vegetable garden and things that are more familiar, a koi pond, more familiar. It was really small. It was really compact, meaning you didn't have to walk a lot to see a lot, which I think for some people is really good. And it was it was just really interesting. The topography was really interesting.
Yeah.
Highly recommend.
That's cool. I never would. Yeah, but it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with like all sorts of wildfires out on the West Coast, like why wouldn't you have things that are less flammable?
Right.
It's like, you know, there's a big thing in Como Park every spring where if you got like a natural Christmas tree, you can bring your tree, your husks or tree carcasses, whatever the term is, and light them up in the Como fire
Rick
pits.
used to have that in Canada. They used to do that in
Go
Canada.
up like
too.
a tinder box. Or do you ever light a old school clementine box? It's like balsam. And like these
Oh,
are selling
yeah.
like those things. Well, get back if you
It's like what they
cherish
make
your
those
eyebrows.
little Boy Scout go-kart things
the
out
pine
of.
with derbies.
That's
Yes,
the one.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, the garden was really wonderful. And it was actually walkable. We walked back to the hotel from there.
Yeah.
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 I liked to go back to the hotel and go in the pool.
I know. I never
And
made it
I was
in the pool.
listening to a Dan Jones podcast on the Wars of the Roses. I'm a big British history guy. I don't know if you knew that. But as I'm there enjoying, and this like, I don't know, 4 or 5-year-old girl just jumps in the water and splashes me. I'm like, my day is ruined. But I did get some sun, so that was nice. They did have a nice pool area.
Yeah,
Like,
it was cute.
It was
really cute.
it was neat.
Yeah.
Then it was time to kind of get out of the water, dry off, get in the right mindset because we had more to do.
I know.
We went to Sockeye.
Sockeye.
Their like secondary location because we always try to come up with like some
An activity.
attractions and
Yep.
an activity. And in Louisville we had golf, so I thought why not continue that
Yep.
tradition? So we went to Sockeye to do their mini golf course, and we got there and the bartender, her face fell right when we walked in.
Yeah.
And we were like, hey, we're here to go mini golfing. And I probably looked like such a keener. And she was like, oh, I'm so sorry to tell you that that's not operational anymore. And I was like, what?
She's like,
I just checked on your website. She's like, yeah, actually, we also just fired our social media manager. Or our social media manager just quit. Yeah, it was a lot of those. I felt really, really bad. I felt really bad that I had drug everyone out there. We all got Ubers to go out there. And I think they felt bad. They like bought our first round of beers. And
They
I was
were
like,
so much like the
Yeah.
hotel with the power outage. Like they were,
I
I'm
did
sure
feel
We were
weird
really
asking.
excited.
we'll get into this. We'll get
We
into
were really
this
excited
stuff
to
later.
go.
But I feel like genuinely the people in Boise were really hospitable human beings. I mean,
Yep.
we had off
Very.
moments from time to time, but people in that town, I feel like were really like, we want people to have a good
Very
time.
hospitable.
Like you came out to our brewery, you came out to our coffee shop. We want you to have a good time.
Yep.
And they were just like, they felt so bad, and they're like, we're so sorry. Like, and you were like, Paige was like, I just checked your social media like a month ago,
Because I did
and
it,
they were like,
like,
and she
I
was like,
planned the
yeah,
trip
our
and then I,
social
like,
media
planned
person's
it
done.
again.
We're like, oh
I
my
like double
gosh.
checked all
They've
of our
been
itinerary. I
86th.
made sure no
Yeah.
one's hours changed. I made sure, like, it's a lot of pressure. There's like 10 of us riding on this, and I was like, I double checked everything. I had Michelle double check a few things, and
But yeah,
I guess
so
I was
like-
like, I guess I should have called. I don't know.
They got some rounds for us, and they brought out like some snacks for us. Wasn't like
Was it chips?
There's some like amazing like
those
homemade potato chips.
Potato
They were- they were so
My God,
good.
I've also done an entry or two about those in my nighttime food
Their
journal.
food,
Yeah.
their food there looked really good. We had obviously we were between meals, but their food did look really, really
And
good.
then some of the beers they had were really good because they had the smaller format barrel aged beers, which we shared.
that
Yes.
bottle
And we
beer
were
with
like-
the
that
peppercorns.
was it peppercorn saison?
Peppercorn
Oh my
saison,
gosh,
and we
that
were
beer
just
was
like,
so
we
good.
were like, I was like, first of all, thank you so much for selling a barrel aged
Saison au
beer.
poivre.
Saison au poivre, that's right, pepper saison.
That's right.
Thank you so much for selling that in a shareable bottle, like for two, because we often
Yeah.
go to breweries together just as two people.
Yep.
And if it's like you go to a place like, oh yeah, we offer bottles too, and I'm like, we're not gonna kill a bottle.
Because
right now.
sometimes when we touch, a half barrel is too much.
Yeah. So it's like, just
give us a reasonable amount of beer for 2 people to share.
Yeah, and then everyone
I want to hold you in my. No, sorry.
and then everyone started like spilling in. I think pumped and ready for mini golf,
Yeah,
and we
I
had
felt
to be.
so bad.
We had to be the like.
I wore my cleats.
I know you had. Your,
I was
and everything.
very
You brought your
disappointed.
driver
And my knickers.
and your
My
knickers.
cleats and my knickers, and I had me driver.
Yeah, Nigel made
That's
an
right.
appearance.
Nigel is back. He's like, without the mustache this time. It was a little weird.
Too obvious. And yeah, we had to like kind of disappoint all
But
of our
everyone,
friends.
to all of our friends' credit, everybody just rolled with it.
And I think that's the thing. I think people understand that things change.
Right.
We're all pretty.
Go with the flow.
Yeah, we're even keel
Yeah.
people that. And I also think
But
there's
I'm not. I'm kind of type A, so I was like, I
But-
feel really bad that I
yeah.
brought everyone out here.
But I
No.
think the nice thing is that when you have people who, like, are so genuinely appreciative of you, Michelle, and
Oh,
Dave
yeah,
for
everybody
putting
is
this all
so
together,
appreciative.
like nobody's going to be disappointed about anything because we know it's like that's just how it goes. And you know, sometimes breweries like change or have to move stuff around, or all of a sudden something just isn't working, and you know.
Yeah, and to be fair to Sockeye, it's not their. I don't think it was
No,
their
it was
mini
like
golf.
a third party
It was
thing.
like
Yeah.
highly attached to them because it was next door in this little building. But I don't think it had anything to do with Sockeye. I think there was something about their lease change
Yeah.
or something.
Yep.
But yeah, it was just not communicated.
I mean, when the worst case scenario is you have to sit outside under a pergola and drink some really good West Coast IPAs,
Right.
You're not. Nobody was having a bad time.
No.
Yeah.
And so, you know, that was fun. We and it was nice because that was like the first time where we actually got to sit outside and you could look up and see mountains.
Oh yeah,
Right.
We were
Because
right
so
on
many
the
of the
edge.
times where we were outside, you couldn't see the mountains. You had to be facing the one direction to
Right.
see the mountains. So
Yeah.
I thought that was the
beers were excellent.
The beers were
Yeah.
amazing, and then that was like the perfect, you know, kind of a amuse bouche for the dinner
Yes.
that we had at the Diablo and Son Saloon.
Yes.
Now, when I first heard that, I didn't understand that we were going to a place that had kind of upscale, really good foodie type food. I thought it was going to be kind of like not
Cowboy
Jack.
Jack's?
Yeah, Cowboy Jack's meets like axe throwing or something with a satanic spin. What we found was like, I was looking at their menu. I'm like,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
I think they had deviled eggs
Yes, those were
that
very
were
good.
like not the kind of deviled eggs you find at a church basement like luncheon.
Right, which
These
I
were,
would
like,
also eat.
Highly elevated deviled eggs.
Yes.
With like, I think they had some roe on there. There was
Yeah.
all sorts of good stuff.
Yeah.
Got those. And then I think in our party of 10, I think at least 5 of us got the trout
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Everybody
I got
got
the
trout.
with like this
because it was from
pistachio.
Idaho. I mean, it's fresh.
Right.
Oh, right,
It's like
yeah.
Again,
there.
another place where, like, on their menu, they said,
Lots of
these
lamb.
these are the farms that we work with.
Yep.
These are the fisheries we work with. It's like, I just love that.
And that was so good.
Yeah.
The food was very good.
Just
Food was really good.
delicious.
And it was it was like one of those kind of pedestrian mall areas where there
Yeah.
was
Yep.
like multiple restaurants
was,
next
like,
to each other,
breezy.
but it wasn't
Yep.
like super overrun with tourists. I mean, it was a right combination of like, this is like an attractive area to be, but it wasn't overrun with craziness. And yeah, they had flowers and they had fans and those misters. I mean, it was just like a very cool, interesting place to be.
Yep. And then we kind of walked around. We went through a little bit
Yeah.
of the Bosque Festival.
Yeah, we did.
What was I can never remember the
Kyle.
Coke red wine.
Oh, Calamacho.
Calamacho.
Yeah, we had a few of those. We had a few of those on our.
Yeah. I discovered that years ago.
Okay.
Working at a pub in Winnipeg, Manitoba that I helped to open. And one of our bartenders went to Spain, specifically to Catalan, the
Basque region.
Basque region, and he came back and he was like, "Dude, they drink the wildest drink there. And we were all like, what is it? And he's like, Coca-Cola and red wine. And for weeks, everyone was like, do not mix those things together. You're going to open a door to
It
some
doesn't sound good.
dimension,
But it's
and it's
good.
going to be terrible. And then he finally was just like, he was like, that's it. I'm making them. I'm doing it. Let's go. And so he made like a pitcher of this thing.
Yeah.
And he used like a Basque recipe. Where you add like a touch of lemon juice as well to it.
Oh, okay. All right.
So a bit of lemon juice, Coca-Cola.
I'm gonna make
and
one of
then-
these when we get home.
Yeah, and then red wine, the Spanish red wine, and all of us. It was like one of those moments where we all like took us to like a hesitant sip, and then we were all like, oh shit, that's really good, and it ended up kind of becoming like this it was like a hidden menu item at the pub. So people would order it from time to time, and this bar, he was the bar lead, and he was just like, "Oh yes, I'm so glad somebody wants to drink this." And yeah, and so when I see them, I always get them, and yeah, we had a few of them when we were at Hyaldi.
That was like one of the two like drinks of the festival.
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
we should probably explain Hyaldi.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Because we've been mentioning about this. Yes. Take it away.
Okay, so when we plan these trips, Michelle, Dave, and I all pick like 2 to 3 cities to research, and then we like vote on where we should go. And when we picked Boise, we picked our dates, and for whatever reason, we didn't really put it together that the exact dates we were going to be there were over this Basque festival called Hyaldi, which they only have once every 5 years. Initially, we thought it was every other year, so it was like, how crazy can it be? But no, it's every 5 years, and they didn't have it in
Oh, it can get
2020
pretty crazy.
because of COVID. So they hadn't had one of
Yeah.
these in 10 years. So I don't know about you, but when we were at the airport, when we were walking to the baggage claim, it was really obvious to me that there were people there like greeting their families. There were
Yep.
people there with the signs and flags, and
Basque
like
flag,
it's a
yeah.
really big deal because
I think I was still in shock from the turbulence, but I'll
yeah,
take
I
your
know
word
your
for
wife
it.
texted me and was like, "Is Dan okay?" I was like, "I think so, but I'll give him a pat on the back. We'll have beers." But it's interesting because there was this big immigration of people from northern Spain to Boise for farming reasons, really, for the climate, for the just the American prosperity of having farmland. And so that's why there's a huge population of Basque people in Boise, which is so random. I mean, it's like doesn't feel like it would be the same climate, doesn't feel like it would be the same culture, but it's very palpable. And because we were there during this festival, it was even more amplified. But that's why you hear about, like, they make their own chorizo, they have the calamachos on a lot of menus, and then there's a specific part of town where the festival takes place that's kind of, it's a normal street, but it feels a little old-timey. It's kind of cobblestoney. It's lined on either side by the Basque Museum and the Basque kind of hall, and so that's where the festival takes place, but they rope it off. They rope off a couple of blocks, so it's just wall-to-wall, butts-to-nuts people. I mean, it was just so busy. It was
And
crazy.
there's
And they have
giant-
music and dancing and food.
huge pans
and the
of paella just
paella.
sizzling
Right,
away.
the paella.
The line for the paella is like 4 blocks long.
It's crazy.
I know. I looked at it. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to.
I know.
And
I
the
was-
little, what are the little dumplings? The little,
Oh,
I'm forgetting what they're called. It's like fried. We'll think of it. But they
But
have
it's
all
really-
these traditional foods, is the point.
Yeah, and like traditional food and music and drink, and it's just like a really interesting time. And while we were there, like, it was interesting to be in Boise, Idaho, and be surrounded by people who are not like who are speaking Catalan, or who are not like speaking your language. They're not like they're people dressed in traditional clothes.
Right.
You could very much see like this is a significant cultural gathering of people. And what was interesting is the time that we were there is like we were kind of these funny bystanders who were
Yeah.
just kind of like, oh, all right, cool. Like, this is a Basque festival. And I think at least Paige and I, we went into it thinking like, oh, it's probably just going to be like a little thing,
Yeah.
And it was, huge.
I mean, a lot of people speaking Catalan.
Well, I think
a lot.
somebody
Yeah.
said there was like an influx of 25,000 people.
Yep.
In
Oh, I
addition
didn't hear
to
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
it's a lot.
yeah, it's a lot
A
of people.
lot of
and,
people.
And it's really cool. I mean, I think it's like we had a fun time the couple times that we went down. And like I said, got to hear traditional music, see traditional dance, and have food and beverage. It's like it's cool. And otherwise,
Croquetas.
croquetas, yeah. And otherwise,
Croquetas. Yeah.
otherwise your experience of that would be, to go to northern Spain, to go to the Basque region.
Yeah, I don't know of any other outposts of that culture.
Yeah.
But then we, all three of us, went to Bar Guernica, which is one of the very old traditional Basque restaurants.
Yeah.
It's very small. It's kind of like triangle shaped. It's tiny.
Yeah.
And the menu is really limited too. They have like a couple of Basque specialties and then some rotating things. And we had a great time.
Yeah. That was neat. I remember we tried to, it was packed that Sunday night. I tried to go back the next night and it was closed because we just
ran out of everything.
And let's give our staff a little bit of time to rejuvenate.
I think a lot of those businesses over there were closed for a day.
And then we wound up going there for dinner. Was it Tuesday
Probably,
night?
yeah.
It was Tuesday, yeah.
Okay. Because that was really cool. And if you would have ever told me, when I was 15, before I learned the life lessons of becoming a grown-up, that I would have been in Boise, Idaho in the summer when it's 97 degrees and I would have ordered lamb stew, I would have not believed you. But yet there we were.
Yeah.
Such a great thing. And that food was so good.
Yeah.
Just all the spices, the flavors, and it's not something I'm very familiar with. I couldn't tell you. I've had that egg dish.
Oh, the tortilla?
The tortilla.
Yeah.
I've had the tortilla at somebody's house who was from Spain.
Yeah.
And he made it. It was very good.
It's very good.
Yes.
I've had paella once at a place, one of the Cuban restaurants in South Minneapolis. Guavas.
Guavas. We love guavas.
Love guavas.
So that is the be-all and end-all of my Spanish food influences. I've never had a calamacho.
Yeah.
I had a sip, and it was very good.
Yeah.
I was not expecting to
you
like
start
it.
with a sip and you're like, wow, that's...
And I was like, oh, this is a flavor explosion. It was very good. You don't think that those two things are going to work.
No.
But I think they're different enough so that kind of balances out because Coke is pretty sweet.
And the red wine that they use is like a tannic. I mean, Spanish red wines are very tannic.
Okay.
They're very kind of peppery. And so when you think about Coke having kind of that spicy flavor too, but it's sweet, it does kind of make sense based on the kind of wine like Grenache or the kind of wines that they use to do it.
And Coca-Cola too is like a lot of people say like it's very acidic, but like it doesn't taste acidic. So I think what's funny is when you mix that wine, and like I don't know, we're not mixologists, but we play mixologists on TV.
We sure do.
I think there's something about mixing those tannic wines where it's like it pulls that acidity away and it brings out these different flavors in both the Coca-Cola but also in the wine. I mean, when we're not soda drinkers at all, but last year a friend gave me a couple bottles of Mexican Coke, which like Mexican Coke's fantastic.
Mexican Coca-Cola.
Yes.
Yes, Mexican
Not
Coca-Cola.
Yes.
Mexican booger sugar.
We don't do that
I
either.
mean, no judgment here.
No,
but if you're gonna get booger sugar, get Colombian. It's
it's much
it's
better.
the best.
And they're just kind of like sat in the fridge, just like I don't know, like I'm almost never gonna go open a bottle of Coca-Cola. I'm more inclined to
You're like, I'm not doing a commercial here.
right, yeah, like
Yeah.
you know, but then we had the Spanish wine, and I was like, oh, you know what we should do? We should make calamacho. That'd be really fun. And we did, and it's basically 50-50. Like it's equal parts mix.
And you said just a little bit of lemon juice?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like a
squeeze?
a squeeze, just a little squeeze. And like, yeah, we were sitting, I think, on the stoop, and we were just like, man, this is fantastic. Like that is
very
just
refreshing.
I think
very
there's something about
refreshing
the stoop at your
beverage.
house, though, because I used to hate
Negronis?
Negronis. And you're like, hey, you want a Negroni? I'm like, okay, well, I don't know if I'm going to like it. And we sat on your stoop. And
Everything tastes better.
It's like an
delicious.
enjoyment time machine.
And now I'm obsessed. I make
Everything-
them at home.
Yeah, everything
It's
tastes
wild.
better on the stoop.
Yeah, that's good. So now, as I'm trying to recollect, the Diablo and Sons was great dinner, kind of like our last big dinner.
Wow.
We went through the Spanish festival area. I'm a little foggy on the details. Did we do anything after that? The three of us went to get ice cream.
Yeah, we did.
But did we reconnoiter at some point with the rest of the group?
I thought the three of us went and each had a pour of bourbon at the refuge.
That's
Because
what
we were
it
all
was.
like, I'm beered out, but I could use more alcohol.
That's okay. There it is. That's what it was. Because
I don't know why we all suddenly
because
were like,
we always
want
do
bourbon.
that. And this is okay.
But I think it's because on the first night when we were at the refuge and we were sitting at the bar, Paige was looking at all the bourbons, and Paige, knowing her brown spirits, sorry, putting you on the spot, was like, oh wow, there's a lot of like interesting bottles I've never seen. They seem to have a really good brown spirit selection.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe we should go by there at some point.
Well, and other people had been there like for nightcaps, and I hadn't because I had to
Right.
watch Guy Fieri. So I was like, well, let's go. No, I'm just kidding. I had no idea that was going to be on TV, but I got lucky. So I was like, well, I kind of want a nightcap. And there wasn't anything. We didn't have a hotel bar. That was the closest thing we had.
Well, I think that was one of the reasons why our hotel was so far removed, because we didn't know that the Bosch Festival was happening.
Yeah. Again, my
We
plan.
did go there for,
That's
so we
right.
had several old fashions.
And we knew it was our last night at the hotel.
Yep.
Like we were
Yep.
going to be moving. All three of us were going to be moving after
Yep.
that.
It was the last dance at the refuge.
Because
That was nice.
when we touch.
I liked that. That was nice.
that
We tried
was-
to sit outside, and then that woman was like, yeah, we're closing the patio. There's a little wind. I was like, okay,
That's
fine.
right.
Remember that?
Yeah. They were like, it's a little windy. We're like, okay.
It's like, okay, yeah, we've been in a sweatbox for 4 days, but we don't want to get wind. Okay. Yeah, that was really fun. They
It was
did
fun.
have a good bourbon
They did.
selection.
Yeah.
And they had good
That's
service too.
right.
I mean, like, I'm just joking about the patio, but like, once we were inside, I was like, oh my gosh, I just want like a pour of bourbon.
Sometimes that's such a nice thing, and I guess we really did get spoiled when we were in Louisville.
Oh, yeah.
You know, thinking about like the nightcap.
It did remind me of
situation.
Louisville.
Yeah.
And I kind of missed that. I'm not typically a cocktail person, but I do like a cocktail at the end of the night.
Mm-hmm.
I think because beer does kind of get filling after,
Oh, the carbonation.
after 5-6 breweries, you want just to switch it up a little bit.
After those slushies at the Western Collective.
Oh my gosh.
Oh God, and the squirt guns.
Exactly.
But yeah, that was fun. Okay, that's what it was. That's
Yeah.
right. That was good.
I don't know why I remember that, but it was because it was just the three of us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
And I think it kind of like ushered in, like we were kind of making peace with like, okay, then everyone's going to dip.
Yep.
And over Monday, people started sort of like falling off and, getting their flights and all
Well,
that.
yeah, we
except for
went-
Dave.
Yeah, we went to breakfast.
I
We
was
all
going
went
to
to
say,
breakfast
I
and,
have something to say about breakfast.
Remember breakfast?
I do remember breakfast.
that guy was
a,
he was like, don't touch the tables.
Oh my gosh, remember that?
I was like, where?
No, really, the people at
"Don't touch
Boise
the
are very
chairs."
nice. We're just talking about the exceptions because they were so
Yeah, there were a
palpable.
couple eccentric people that
Remember we were like trying to help. He was like, just stand back.
He's like,
yeah,
please
just stand back.
Just go out of the way.
It's like, okay,
Get out
it's
of
not our first time, but whatever. That's
That
fine.
breakfast place was really popular. They'd been around for like almost 100 years, but they obviously in a different location. We were eating in a strip mall. I shouldn't say obviously. It's just obvious to us.
Yeah.
But I need to go on the record as saying that you cannot make a waffle with pancake batter, okay? If you're going to make a waffle, that's a whole dish, okay?
Wasn't it really like,
It was terrible.
to borrow a
It was
phrase
like
from
shoe
the
leather.
vernacular of Paul Hollywood, it's stodgy that.
Exactly.
It's a bit stodgy.
It's a bit craggy. It's stodgy.
Craggy.
It was
Claggy.
not good.
Claggy.
Everyone,
craggy.
I was the only one who was not happy with my breakfast, which is classic. And I was like, I really, really wanted a waffle. I wanted like a fluffy, absorb my yesterday's sins waffle. And it was just like they had put pancake batter into a waffle maker, and that's not the same.
It's not.
I don't know what the podcast equivalent of a soapbox is, but like that is not a waffle. A waffle has to be yeast, it has to be risen, it has to be fluffy. I didn't even eat it. Anyway, I ate something off Rick's plate. It was fine.
Didn't I get like some really mid
Sorry, Dan.
huevos
Are you
rancheros?
okay?
My breakfast wasn't that great
Dan's
either.
not okay.
I want to know.
But it wasn't as mine wasn't as offensive.
I wanted a
as yours.
fluffy absorb my sins. Oh, that's good. Somebody should make a T-shirt out of that. Yeah.
What was that place called?
I
Sunny
was just
Side Up
gonna ask-
Cafe.
Oh, yeah.
Some
Sunny-
white bread. I don't know. What
Sunny
it was
Side
called.
Up.
Hold on, I'll look it up.
We like our waffles like
The
we like our
dastardly
bayous.
egg.
I just remember how mad Michelle
and
was at how
possible-
busy it was. She was like, "How can it be this busy? Does anyone work on a Monday?" I'm like,
Yeah,
"Well,
that's-
we're
Yeah,
here."
because it was Monday morning. Apparently
I
not.
think that
Well,
might
maybe
also,
that was the Spanish thing. Don't they do a siesta there? So they have like a different kind of a.
And then like the coffee shop next door was having like that bake sale. Remember how busy
yeah.
it
Oh,
was?
yeah.
It was a Monday.
We're like, what is going on around here? It was like
The griddle.
the griddle.
The griddle.
The griddle, yeah.
The griddle. Home of the stodgy waffle.
No, really,
You want to
do
absorb
not.
your sins, you'll have to go to the refuge.
Do not order the waffle. I think waffles are misunderstood.
Yeah, they might be. It was no Eggo, I'll tell you that. By the way, Eggo, if you're listening, we could use a sponsor. Yeah, then there was that sad. Somebody took a really cool picture of us walking there, and I was
Michelle.
like, that is always. It's always bittersweet to have one more meal together, but then everybody kind of goes off on their way. And
But I think it's special that meal was breakfast.
Yeah.
Because like, yes, we're all probably pretty hungover, but like, it's not like an end of the night kind of thing, you know, where it's just like, see you later, like ass hanging out of the Uber window, right? Like,
What Uber? What ass?
Tiffany, are you listening? Pressed hams have made
Pressed
a
hams
return.
out of Saskatchewan. If you want to sponsor a podcast, slide into my DMs.
It's like in the morning, like we all get to like kind of hang out. Like we have
Yep.
our cups of coffee or a tea,
Yeah.
whatever. We have our breakfast, and then it's like
Yeah.
we walk. You know, in that case, like wander back to the hotel, and then it's like we can say like, okay, like bye, like I'll see you, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, our we got to have that nice meal together.
Yeah.
Right.
I love breakfast. It's one of my favorite meals of all time. So it's like,
I usually do too.
well, not that. Not that morning in particular. Really worked up about that waffle.
I was. I'm still thinking about it. But I'm in agreement that it's not like an end of the night kind of thing. Like
Right.
it is nice to see everyone. We're all staying at the same hotel, so like
Yeah.
see you, and also we keep in touch. Like it's not like we don't see these
Right.
people.
That's
right.
And I feel like
We-
the end of the night thing is a little more of that, like in the spirit of we went to 6 breweries today, more of that kind of like, I love you, man, you know.
Yeah.
Whereas in the morning, it's a little more like, hey, like you're great. I'm gonna see you soon.
Right.
Yes, I
Let's-
love you. Get
right.
home safe. You know.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's. A
I
little,
agree.
It feels
We
a
all
little
keep
more
in
like
touch with each
genuine.
other
Yeah.
and-
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. That waffle is going to stay with me now for a
Should have
while.
passed it around so everyone got to taste
Oh,
my
jeez.
misery.
It's like a bite of Tallahassee. And then we were off on our own things, and we kind of like separate. People went to the airport.
Dave went to float down a river. I haven't seen him since.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
were
that's
expecting to hear.
No, I
like,
actually have seen him since.
Yeah, I know he's
Alive.
alive.
Yeah. He's alive.
But yeah, he was incommunicado, as they say, for a while. I remember I had time to kill, so I asked the front desk if I could just leave my bags there.
Yeah.
And then I went to the refuge for lunch
As you do.
Chicken,
because I
avocado
wanted
wrapped
to bookend my stay with another chicken bacon avocado
knew it.
wrap. It was so good. But the second time around, I did get the tater tots.
Oh,
Yeah.
And it was
other
pretty good.
potatoes. Yeah,
Yeah.
lots of potatoes.
And then I went to Boise Brewing because I wanted to have another stout, but then they also had a porter there that had won a couple awards, so I
you
tried
said
that
that.
too.
Yeah.
And then came back, got in my Lyft, checked into the Airbnb, which I was very pleasantly surprised to find that it was located a 3-minute walk from the Greenbelt.
Yeah.
And I walked down there. You know, I watched some people surfing in that man-made kind of like rapids thing.
Yeah, that was
and
really
the
cool.
water.
That was really cool.
Whitewater Park or whatever.
It was just neat. The Airbnb was so cool. The hosts were super nice.
Yeah.
They had an adorable cat. We bonded right away. They're like, "Oh, he likes you. He usually doesn't like people." And I was like, "Well,
You're very likable.
I am at peace with all living things." So, and you know, I asked them for what are some local recommendations, and thank God they had such great opinions because there was a coffee shop that was close. He's like, they were both like, "Well, you know, your closest one is this, but we cannot recommend it."
Amazing.
And I
Yeah.
knew that they knew their coffee because they were making like French press.
Yeah.
They had, so they sent me
I'm
in the
telling you, if you like
direction.
coffee, you gotta go to
Oh
Boise.
yeah,
Yeah,
such
seriously.
good coffee.
It
so
was
they
crazy.
they include me in on push and pour, and then that was when I did my first lime ride, and I limed over to Barbarian, and
You
then I
lived
was
to tell the story.
I did live to tell the story. And then I went for dinner. I was like, well, there was this like little tap house place that was just down the way, and I went there. It was not.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, we looked at that, but we didn't go there.
Yeah.
It was. They had a great tap list, and I did have like a Freem Pilsner, and they had a bunch of West Coast stuff that was good.
Yeah.
But it was like a mom and pop thing.
Sure.
And I'm like, if you
We're
could
mom and pop, even a mom and pop.
well, I don't know. It was a less funny version of Estelle and Frank Costanza, and she was the front of the house, and he was just real befuddled about how to nuke the wings in the microwave.
Oh, no.
I don't know why. I was like one of 5 people there, and it was not good. That was the only that was the only bad
Miss of the whole
food thing
Yeah.
I had.
Yeah. You didn't have my waffle.
I did not have I had the wing version of your waffle because
Yeah.
they were not crispy at all. And I do think they were just microwaved.
Yeah.
I think they were like frozen and like whatever. They were not crispy.
Yeah.
Now you stayed at the same hotel that Marcus and Andrea
Yeah, the
stayed
Sparrow.
at, right?
The Sparrow.
Okay. What was that like?
It was really nice. It was a small little independent hotel right in the middle of downtown. It was, you know how sometimes like new hotels can be like, you get in them and you're like, oh yeah, I feel like I'm in an Instagram, but like nothing has any substance. It wasn't like that. It was nice and modern, but still really comfortable. And I thought it was like well done. The only negative is that they were like building an entire office building, like a skyscraper across the street.
Yeah.
And they had the audacity to give out earplugs. And I was like, no. This isn't an earplug situation. This is like whole body shaking situation.
Like the building was shaking.
Yeah. So luckily we're pretty early risers and that was fine. But that was the only drawback was like you really felt like you were in a construction zone the whole time.
And like
Okay.
something else too is like what we found because like we try to book small independent hotels as much as we can, and Sparrow they have they're part of a group that
but I think they only have like maybe three locations in that
different
area.
cities.
Yeah.
And it was good. And like, but I think sometimes when you go to these like smaller, boutique style hotels, it's really funny because they charge you a premium, but everything kind of feels like shit.
Yeah.
Like it feels like you walked into an IKEA showroom or something like that. Like flimsy doors or like fixtures that don't quite work, like those weird things. It didn't feel like that.
No.
Oh, okay.
Like the vibe was
Nice
great.
bathroom.
Really nice bathroom, like furniture that felt like solid, like really, for 2 people who typically treat a hotel as like a place that we love, but also a place that we're like basically going to be there to sleep, shower, and whatever. It was a very good stay.
And there was also a really nice coffee shop nearby, Necker, and there was a nice bar right around the corner called Atlas, which we had found the sister. I think there's multiple bars in that family, but Atlas was really cool. The bartender was really nice, and it was like literally right around the corner. So
Okay. That's good.
and Atlas was what I liked about that place was they were very much like, I love a bar that's like, don't come in here and ask us for bullshit. Like, come in here. This is our menu. We'll make call drinks. Like, we'll work with you, but like, don't come in here and ask for like the goofiest stuff on the planet because like it's very much like that's not this kind of bar.
Yeah.
Like, we have got good cocktails.
That's what TGI Fridays is for.
but not great beer list.
A good but not great beer list, like
Okay.
a couple of wines, like very much like just come and hang out. And a lot of times I feel like in downtowns, you don't get that. You get these bars that are like, look at how crazy we are. Look at all this wacky stuff we have. And it's like to go into a place that like kind of felt like a dive a little bit. I was like, this is great. This is a good spot.
Yeah.
Well, and we had when the rest of the group left, we kind of did our own things, but we did some nice things together.
Yeah.
One of the things that I was really excited about was Andy from Northbound, Andy the City Elf.
Yes.
Gave me. He brought a sockeye brewing beer
To your Christmas
my
party.
holiday party.
Yes.
And then subsequently gave me the contact info of a gentleman and a scholar named Ben Supchek,
Oh yeah.
who was kind of in charge of sales for Sockeye Brewing. Now, we had gone to the Sockeye location on the north end of town,
Turns out they don't have golf.
And they don't have golf.
Or a
so don't-
social media manager.
Don't even.
Or maybe they've replaced that person. Or maybe, hey.
Maybe they have pickleball now. Who knows?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. Sweep
But
the nation.
we had been invited to go to lunch at Sockeye Brewing, their production facility, which was kind of, is it south? I guess maybe I'm getting my
west.
direct. No, yeah, it was
Yeah,
west
west.
because it was, And so
In a
we-
different city, actually.
in a different city.
Yeah.
Yes. And we went there, and I thought that was really, really cool.
Yeah, huge, cool space.
Oh, yeah.
We had a really nice time. We sat down, ordered some beers.
Yep.
Ben was nice enough to kind of roll out the red carpet for
Oh, yeah.
us. And we were trying some of those.
Steak
the
fingers.
very
So steak
long
fingers.
red carpet.
Yeah.
And I mean that in a loving way.
It was like
a
the
very
best
long
red carpet situation I think I've ever had at a brewery. So Ben absolutely rolled out the red carpet for us. We were treated to some of the steak fingers,
Yes.
which I thought were really good.
Yep.
The breading was more cornmeal-y.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And I thought that worked pretty well. And they were dipped
Don't tell the Uber driver.
in bed.
We'll get to that eventually.
If that piques your interest, sign up for the Patreon. You're going to hear the whole story. I like that it was in cocktail sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Which
really
I don't
good.
normally like cocktail sauce. I think I like it better with steak than shrimp.
Yeah, I do too. I don't think shrimp needs much of a
Nuh-uh.
sauce. I think it's pretty good. So we went there, and Ben was we should tell people. So Andy put us in touch with Ben. Ben used to live here. He was a rep for Lagunitas and would go to Northbound a lot. That's how he got to know Andy. And then Andy contacted him. He's like, hey, I've got some friends who are out there. They're beer writers. And Ben was insistent on, he would have hosted our whole group.
I know.
And he's like, when he was, I think he was coming off of paternity leave, so his schedule was a little wonky, but
I didn't know that.
he did a fantastic job hosting us. We had some great food, and we all sat down with a beer. And then he's like, hey, let's get a bottle of the whatever kind of a beer.
Yeah.
And we got to try pretty much, I felt like at least 4 or 5
Right.
of some of their bottle format, these
Like the beer club
barrel
beers.
aged, kind of mixed fermentation, very special beers. I thought the labeling was really cool because it had that
Fish scale.
texture. Hence,
So sockeye is a salmon for those listening at home.
Yeah, it's not a form of pantaloon that you wear to some sort of a Civil War reenactment. It's actually a fish. And we had a great time. And what I thought was really interesting is sometimes you go into a brewery and the person giving you a tour, I mean, maybe they're into it, maybe they're not.
Yeah.
I think it was pretty obvious that Ben is very passionate about craft beer in general, but also about the brand. And it seemed like Sockeye is kind of one of the bigger breweries out there, and they do a lot of different stuff. And then he's like, well, you wanna take a look in the brew house?
But like not in a weird way. Like not
No.
in like a typical tour way.
Not like some guy trying to sell you a watch in Times Square with a trench coat.
And also, like, I think one thing that he did really well was, like, he knew that we've all toured breweries before. Like, he was like, you've seen them all.
Yes.
But come see what's happening today, because there's actually some really cool stuff going
the
on
plums.
right now.
The
Yes.
plums.
And we were like, what's going on right now?
Yeah.
And took us into the merry old land of Oz. I mean, it was...
Yes, we're off to see the wizard and the people with the silicone gloves pitting plums, and so
and mashing them too.
Yeah,
by hand.
And so, I don't know. When I think of a plum, maybe this shows my ignorance, but
Can't wait to see where this goes.
I usually think of a single plum,
A
floating in
larger-
perfume served in a man's hat.
yes. And so when we got back there and they were like macerating a bunch of different fruits, I was like, wait a minute. They talk about a square peg in a round hole, Jimmy. No, when I think of a plum, I think of like, the hand fruit that's bigger. Mm-hmm. Those plums are really small.
Well, remember
they're
Ben
tiny.
said it was supposed to be ornamental plums. But he was like, they're supposed to be an ornamental plum tree, but then they were good, and we
These are
decided
basically the Shetland ponies of the summer fruit.
Exactly. So they're probably like pretty tannic, and they probably add a lot than just sugar, you know?
Yeah, but we got to eat one.
Yeah.
They were very sweet.
They were good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
I was like, every time I think of a plum, I think of that one Seinfeld episode where Morty was like, Jerry, eat
Every
a plum.
day I eat a plum.
Yeah.
Plum.
So then they were kind of crushing up these plums for a beer, but they had a beer on tap.
That's
the beer
right.
on tap, and I
Wait. You mean the one that they served us out of the bright tank?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It wasn't on tap to the public.
Right.
That was the first time they tasted it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so he was going back and you know, kudos to Ben. He wanted to get the perfect pour.
Right.
He was
Yeah.
like trying to get it in, got a big tray, and we got to try this beer that they were.
And the brewers tasted it too.
Yeah. And
we
that
all
was
got to
kind of,
try
that
it.
was really cool. And I thought it was really yummy. And it was just like, that's, like you said, he knew is like, we know what the mash tun is
Right.
and the, you know, the eye wash station and the room where you have to put on your blindfold and take your shoes off and go in there and they give you a, I don't know. But he knew it wasn't our first time at a brewery, so I think he did a nice job in just kind of like
Right.
glossing over the things, but then we got to go see like where the barrels are and different things. We walked across the way to their canning
packaging
area,
department.
the
Yeah,
packaging area.
As somebody who's worked in packaging, I find that I always find that stuff fascinating. And when he was explaining to us like that they're packaging the beer that was the
For the
home
homebrew
brew
competition.
I was like, oh, I love that. Like
Yeah.
that's so cool. And yeah.
So
Nerd.
despite the fact that Sockeye Brewing is pretty large,
Yeah.
it still kind of had
Small
a
feel.
small feel.
Yeah.
I think that's hard to do.
It felt like a bent paddle.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
not quite a
That's
summit,
that's a
but
perfect
more like a bent
comparison.
paddle.
Yeah.
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 And then we went into their staff
Oh my
room.
gosh.
And
the
things
party
just got
and that's when-
wacky.
got a bit wacky.
That's where the party
That's where
started.
Nigel came out. Oi, where's me bowler hat and me cane? We're going to try some whiskey.
We sure did.
So
Didn't see that one coming.
Ben continued. Well, what I thought was cool, it was Keeper's Heart whiskey.
I know. That's
Yes.
why.
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
he served it to us.
And we got to try. I think we tried one of their barley wines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He kept. I think wanting
just
to
kept pouring
put their
things.
best foot forward and make sure we tried all the different
Right.
things.
And he even sent us home with some things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I still have one can of Oktoberfest left.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm like, oh, Oktoberfest. And he just handed me a 6-pack.
know.
I'm like, this is the best tour ever. I've been saving I've got one can left. I've
one
distributed
can
the
left.
cans out to people, and I'm like, I'm waiting for the Sockeye October. I'll probably drink it this weekend.
Yeah.
Because last Friday on the way home from work, I stopped at Kramarchik's and got a whole lot of sausages.
And it wasn't chorizo.
It wasn't chorizo. Nope. It was all the German stuff. But I just thought that was really cool, and I think that it showed how much energy he has for
Oh, yeah. He was
giving
very
tours
enthusiastic.
and just like wanted to. He asked us a lot of questions. He's like,
He did.
what are the cool places now? And
Yeah.
I think he gets back every now and again, but not nearly as often as he'd like to. So Ben, if you're listening, and Andy, when you're listening, because I know he's a fan. Thanks for making that connection.
Yeah,
I
that
think
was
that's
really
really
fun.
cool.
Yeah.
You know, anytime I always and I'm sure you all are the same way. Anytime I know somebody's going to a place, if I know anybody there,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, hey, talk to this
Yeah.
person and see if you can get them in on a cool tour. And that's kind of like the neat thing about craft beer is like it's a very everybody kind of understands the importance of like nerding out about stuff and kind of paying it forward, and you
Right.
want to give people the kind of the behind the scenes looks, and
Yeah.
I think that's really cool.
Yeah, and we didn't end up doing a formal tour with the whole group this year.
Right.
Last year we
No.
did one, and that was fun. And I think we could have done one this time,
Yeah.
but I don't think people like in our group need that.
Yeah.
It's just a nice way to get behind the scenes. But I did feel like we saw so many interesting places. But at the same time, it's the kind of city where I feel like we don't really have to do a behind the scenes tour to get a feel for those places. Like people were so
Right,
hospitable. People wanted to talk with us.
Yep.
Like when we were in our whole group going from place to place, I feel like people were really genuine and went out of their way to be hospitable. So I didn't feel like we needed to. Whereas like when I feel like when we went to Louisville, for some reason, I just felt like because that's a more of a bourbon city, I was like, I feel like we need to tie this back to the heart of this group, which is beer.
Yeah.
And we did
Yeah.
do a wonderful tour. And was it West 6 Nulu? No.
It was 1050.
Yeah, that's right.
1050.
That's right.
Yeah.
Was it 1050?
Yeah.
And they were
Yeah.
just east of town, and I feel like, and he was a great tour guide too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I felt like with Boise, it felt a little more organic. Like we
Yeah.
could just figure it out on our own, and so it's cool that we got to do that. Just the three of us at Sockeye. I don't know that we would have had the exact same experience if it was the whole group.
Yeah, probably
Right.
not.
But
Right.
it'd be cool. It would have been cool to bring everyone there. We didn't know that there was such a difference between the two locations, and but it was cool to do that as a smaller group and feel like we got, because we know a personal friend of his.
Yeah, right.
That we got really special treatment. So
Yeah. But yeah, Ben had great energy. He was super fun. It was nice to meet him and spend time in that way. And then that was, then Wednesday, the next day, we did our Outward Bound adventure.
Oh my gosh.
Well, but what did we do after Sockeye?
Oh yeah, we went over to an outpost of the brewery, as in BRUERY.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So after Ben had, and I would assume Ben will hopefully listen to this. After he fed us copious amounts of really wonderful beer and also spirits and just like really interesting stuff, he encouraged us to go to the brewery
Because we were going to do
brewery.
something else in that area.
Yeah.
Yes, and the brewery doesn't have a lot of beers under 12%. That's
No.
not really what they do, and that's fine. And so we went there, and Paige, being the
Don't.
trooper that she is,
Don't throw me under the bus.
I'm not throwing you under the bus.
Okay.
Being the trooper that she is, was like, I have to
Check my email.
check my email basically, and she had her computer with her the whole time. And so we sat down, and I think
she loves free cell.
yeah. And I think
Minesweeper.
Dan, I think you got a flight, and then
Yep.
I think I might have got like a short pour of something that was pretty low strength. And then Paige posted up at the
They were
bar.
about to have their anniversary party, so they had all these
They had
big
all
beers
these
on.
huge beers, and it was great. Again, like there's something there. The hospitality in that region. Like we walked in there on, was that Tuesday?
Yeah, that was Tuesday afternoon.
Tuesday afternoon at like 4:00
Yeah.
after being just like
Yeah.
spoon fed a ton of different things, and like we were pretty.
We're
high-
sharing things.
We were
and-
sharing. We were like high energy, you know. It's like
Yep.
we're not the typical crowd, but like the bartender was so friendly to us and so kind and so welcoming and being like, "Yeah, you guys want to have a flight? You want to try this? You want to try that? Like, let me know." And it's like there's just. We did. We hung out. We talked. You and I got into a deep food conversation while
Yeah.
Paige checked her email because she's responsible and we're sometimes responsible.
That's right.
And then from there,
It was great.
I went to
Which is
the
the
bar
distillery.
name, which was right across from Bar Guernica.
oh,
And I had-
We went to a different location.
yeah,
Yeah, I got. I had some awesome Brussels sprouts, and I got their trout, and I had several old fashions.
Yeah,
and
we
I
did
was
a flight of spirits.
I am
Yeah.
so happy right now. And then went back to the Airbnb for snooze
Kitty time.
and nighty night because I knew we had our big hike in the morning.
yeah. That's right.
The big
That's
hike.
right.
We were
Yeah.
going
Big
to. You can't go to Boise and not do something outward bound.
No.
So we went to the Harrison
Hollow.
Hollow Trailhead,
Trailhead.
Yeah.
and we did a really nice hike. I
Yeah.
was a little. My biggest fear of a hike is encountering a
Wild.
snake
Oh yeah.
because
Yeah.
I am frightened of snakes. And it was kind of interesting. You go there and you kind of start doing the switchbacks, and you realize before long,
It's
we're
very
up a ways.
exposed.
Yeah.
You know, there's not a lot of shrubbery. It's
Yeah.
very exposed. It's
Yeah.
the desert,
Yeah.
basically. It's a mountain in the desert, if you can imagine that.
Yeah, so kind of like the foothills
Yeah.
area.
Right on the edge of town. You could see downtown from where
and
we
the,
were.
And the
but
views
it's pretty
were
remote.
so nice.
Yeah.
I mean, as someone who loves hiking but often hikes in the Midwest, like I see hiking and I see like lakes a lot. I see rivers. I see grasslands. I love grasslands. That was a wild hike because like we were just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I was like, this is beautiful. This is fantastic. I love it. And then all of a sudden we're just like, we get to this like plateau and we're like, whoa, we're like above the city. Like
Yeah.
I can see the
Yeah.
tops of the buildings.
Yeah.
And we're it's like
It
we're
was
still
high
in
up.
town.
What was the elevation on you guys' robot watches? It was pretty significant. I mean, we
didn't
went
turn
like
mine on
straight
until
up.
halfway through.
At the beginning, we went like straight up.
I say R2.
We did not encounter any snakes, but we did do our little
No.
practice. What was it? There was an animal that it said you might encounter. Mountain lions? Hyenas? No, not hyenas. That sounds dumb.
Coyote.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Coyotes, yeah,
Remember we did our
coyotes.
little practice coyote?
Yeah,
What are you
yeah.
going to do when you see a coyote?
Yes.
We didn't see any.
We didn't see any.
Thank goodness. Yeah, we only I think we saw one woman who was on a jog and she lapped us. I'm like, okay,
She
that's
lapped us.
aggressive.
Yeah.
That's real cool.
Come on, calm
What
down.
are you training for the Olympic
Please.
Games? Let's just relax. It's Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah.
Why do you have to be like that?
It was late morning.
Late morning, yeah. Well, thank God because it was
It was.
a scorcher.
Yeah,
We
it
had
was
to get
hot.
out
It was
there before
warm.
the peak heat of the day.
Yeah. And that was really fun. The only scary part was like,
The down climb.
The down climb.
Right.
Yeah.
The down climb. And they're like, oh, okay.
A lot of sideways stepping.
This is going to
Yeah.
test the structural integrities of my kneecaps. And I was waiting for one to like just pop off and fly off into the ether. But it didn't. And everything. And we got down and walked back. And then I felt really accomplished. I thought that was
was.
a really cool,
No, that was a serious
cool
hike.
trek.
And
Yeah.
then I think the route that we took was really nice too because we did the hardest part at the beginning kind of.
Yes.
So then at the end it was basically just a straight shot through this
Yeah.
like beautiful valley where there was like all this weird growth.
And we knew
like,
it was an out and back. It was a loop, but it was out and back in the sense that like we could see where we were going. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't.
and
We weren't going to get lost.
We just you just get to walk and kind of catch your breath and drink some water and
Yeah.
and take way too many photos. I
Oh, yeah. Took a lot of
sorry.
photos.
took a lot of photos.
And then there were like some just huge houses.
Yeah.
Like the one we kept referring to as Jabba's Palace, like up on the hill. Like that was really neat. And then we got finished.
Yes.
And
We're
we're
doomed.
like, we are parched and hungry and sweaty.
What do we need? Beer.
We need beer. And we're like, well, there's a brewery right over there. It was
Don't
like
think I didn't plan that.
200 steps down the hill.
Yeah.
And then that was called
Highland Hollow,
Highland Hollow Brew Pub.
which was adorable.
It was like
Yes.
an old.
It was like
I-
Alpine
It's like a
Lodge.
chalet.
Yeah, like a
Yeah.
chalet.
Yeah.
Because skiing is very big.
Yeah,
there.
that actually, we
Yeah.
should point out, that is right on the main drag to the ski hill. Like the mountain of skiing is
Yeah.
right there.
Bo-
So in the winter, it probably feels totally different.
What's it called? Like
Bogus Mountain?
Bogus Valley or
Bogus
something?
Basin. Bogus Basin.
Bogus
Yeah,
Basin.
Bogus Basin.
Which
You
was
win.
just recently voted like some of the best skiing by whatever ski magazine.
yeah.
Ski Wax R Us.
Something like that. Yeah.
Whatever
If you're not
ski
waxing,
magazine.
you're not vaxing.
I want to go. I want to try going there in the winter.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
should.
Well, and that place was cool too because it it definitely felt old school. I was doing a little bit of internet research.
Arr.
Nigel and I we got all the Encyclopedia Britannicas and we looked at that. It's the oldest brewery
I believe it.
in Boise.
I kind of feel
It
bad for
felt
not
that
bringing
way.
the whole group there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
But it
would
was a
have been
little
a
out of the way.
trip.
It felt a little out of the way.
And speaking of trips, when we got there, we ordered. We were taking. It was kind of like right.
That's when I had my first bowl of mulligatawny.
Oh yeah.
That was
That's
life-changing
right.
soup. Life-changing soup.
Yes.
Yes. Mulligatawny is
I had
fantastic.
a
It was so
burger
good.
because I'm like, I want a burger.
I had a
so good.
I had
salad.
bacon.
I think I had a sandwich with my soup. I
Yep.
think at the
Yeah.
lunch special, but the mulligatawny was really.
I think I had like a steak salad or something because it was like
Yep.
they were like there's every vegetable in there. I was like onions, tomatoes, avocados, like cucumbers. I was like there's everything. They're like there's also steak. I'm like
Yes.
yeah, whatever about the steak. Like I was just
yeah.
I just like needed veggies.
Yeah.
I loved that spot. It reminded me of kind of like if Town Hall was an Alpine
I was
chalet.
just gonna say
I mean,
that.
the
That's
beer
so
was
funny.
so good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like it felt like everyone there knew each other, but it
Yep.
wasn't like the swinging barn doors where like you're not welcome.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was really great. I really liked that place. I wish we would have gone there with the whole group.
I think it was funny because when we were ordering our beers, one of the beers was like called like sidestep or fall down porter or something, and there was like this like
Face
this
plant
little
porter, I think
no
is what it was
no
called.
that's what it was.
Oh, I thought
it
you
was
meant-
face
I
plant
thought you
porter.
were referring to
face
you
plant
trying not to
porter.
fall down the
Yeah.
mountain.
No. When we were there, and then like there
That
was
was
some
the
little
next day.
kid, there was some little kid running around. They totally biffed it, and I was like, I guess I'll have the face plant. It was just kind of funny and perfectly timed.
Yes. Yeah.
But that was a really neat thing, and just like after the hike, having some food.
Yeah. That was nice.
That was a cool, way to relax.
Yes.
In an air conditioned area, because
Yeah.
it was quite warm.
And I feel like Boise had like breweries of like every different caliber in that sense. Like
And type.
There were these places that were like really like hot and trendy and cool places that made like really traditional stuff. And then it's like we went
I
into
already
there.
want to go back.
I
already
know,
want to go
I
back
know.
there.
That's
That's
such
a
a
perfect
great
segue
place.
into.
I almost bought tickets to the sockeye beer
know.
dinner.
And then,
I was
like-
like,
and
I
then, like,
gotta
we
just
went-
go
and
back.
then,
Oh,
we
that would have been
walked-
amazing.
We walked into there and we were just like, oh man, like this is just like this town's got it all. I
And
don't
that
know.
was yet another neighborhood that we didn't know about,
Yes.
like that
Yep.
area. That's
Yeah.
where we found the sister bar of Atlas. I can't remember what it was called, but that little
Sure.
area with like the little soda fountain.
Yes,
like that. It was just like
yeah.
all these little neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, question: would you go back?
I already want to go back. I want to go back
100%.
in a
Okay.
different season.
100%.
Either
Yeah.
winter or spring.
I think the beer quality was really good. The food quality was really good. And I think that if you are, the only thing that I would wish is that I could have brought my bike.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of more outdoorsy stuff. And I think that, there's some breweries I don't know if I feel like I'd have to go back to again.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I know you had experience at one that was
Yeah.
really not
and
great.
I just think in 2025, I don't care what your political affiliation is. If a patron says the N word in your tap room
No.
and you do nothing,
No, 86.
that's really shitty.
Yeah.
That's absolutely shitty. And,
Yeah.
and the brewery that I'm speaking of was Bear Island Brewing. I have never had such a awful experience. Their beers were fine, and it was so odd because I had tried like a little taster, and I thought it was good, so I ordered a flight. And then, two of their patrons were talking, and I heard, just threw out the N-word. And I looked around waiting for somebody to be like, whoa, what did you just
Right.
say?
We
Don't
don't-
say
we
that in
don't-
here.
yeah.
Not cool.
And it was just business as usual. And I'm like, well, I'm kind of done here. And that was just really awful. As I was talking to a couple other brewery people as I was there, they're like, oh, yeah, unfortunately, that's like their thing. Their owner is a complete psychopath.
shitty.
So if you go to Boise, Idaho, I would avoid Bear Island with a 10-foot pole because nobody needs to patronize.
And everyone
a
else was
place.
so welcoming.
Right, and that's the thing. And had that been my first brewery visit, can
Oh
you
my
imagine?
gosh.
Right.
I would have been like, no, I'm kind of done with this place.
Right.
It was very off-putting,
Right.
and I think that if you're an owner like that, you have those ideas, you create that culture. I want nothing to do with you,
Right.
and I don't want.
Yeah.
I want to save anybody who's listening from going to Boise and having an awful experience like that.
Well,
'cause,
and I mean, the
like,
three of us are, not to like toot our own horns here, but like we are the kind of people that people are going to ask, like, hey,
Yeah.
where should I go
Right.
for beer? Or if I'm going to
Yeah.
Boise, where should I go? And like, we are like de facto beer influencers because of how long we've been doing this for so long.
Right.
Like I've been writing about beer since 2011.
Yeah.
Like people are going to ask us like, where should we go? And
Yep.
that's going to be a place that you steer people away from.
yeah.
Well, and I think something too, like when it comes to beer, especially where we are now, I want to just say beer and hospitality in general, right? Like whether that's a coffee shop or a hotel or whatever, it's like it's no longer at a point where you're going to tell someone, here's all the places you can go and list 19 out of 20 places because those are the 19 out of 20 you've been to. But I think now when people ask us
Oh, yeah.
things, we actively will say, these are places to avoid.
Right.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
last week,
And
I gave
that's
the
fine.
Louisville list to someone.
Yeah.
Like, this are the places you should go.
And and it's not necessarily like, I think in most cases as professionals, it's not like, oh, avoid them because like I just, I thought that this one beer was wrong or whatever. Like,
Right.
I think we're over that at this point. We're
Right.
over that. It's more like avoid them because of what you're saying.
They're not
Yeah.
worth
Avoid
your
them
time.
because
They're
their
not
culture
worth,
is bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Avoid them because they're clearly not treating their people well. Like,
Right.
there's a reason why we don't go to Starbucks, why we go to a local coffee shop, because we know that 9 times out of 10, Starbucks employees are not happy. And it's like, we'd rather go to a place where we know the workers are going to be happy.
I'm sorry if Starbucks is a sponsor.
No, they're not.
Just cut that.
I wouldn't have Charbucks be a sponsor of this nice
But
little podcast.
but like stuff like that. It's like, and we've even said this, and I know like the three of us have had this conversation, right? Where it's like, I will excuse mediocre beer if I know that the culture is good.
Yes.
If I know the people are
Yep.
good, if they're doing good work, if they're involved in their community, if they're good to each other, to their workers, like all that. I'll excuse mediocre beer.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm going to a place where I'm like, the beer's fantastic, the people are shit,
Right.
then like I just won't. They don't
No.
get my money. I'm not going
No.
there, and I will tell people to not go there.
Well, yeah, and
Like, be like,
I
just
will.
don't go
I will
there. Just
actively,
don't go
if
there.
anybody asks me,
Yeah.
says I'm going to Boise, and I guess maybe Boise or not Boise, Idaho is a conservative state.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of Texas, it's the reddest state in the union.
Yes,
But,
But
like
I-
any state,
but I
the
also-
metro areas are going to be more liberal.
Right.
Yeah.
But I also think that I think I know plenty of Republicans who do not condone that type
Absolutely.
of hate speech.
Oh, yeah.
And I
Yeah.
know plenty of veterans who would not be comfortable hearing that word in the tap room. So I think Bear Island, they are a crappy entity unto themselves where they allow that. I would steer everybody I know and their brother away from that place because there's so many other great places to go.
right. Go to the good
In
places.
Boise.
There's so
Yep.
many better places to
Yeah.
go. Speaking of which, did you want to mention the very last brewery we went to before we got on our plane?
Yes, I would. Old Speak.
Yeah.
Old Speak. What a cool place.
That place
Oh my
was
gosh,
really,
amazing.
really striking.
And so I want to give Marcus and Andrea a shout out because I don't
100%.
think I would have
Yeah.
stumbled upon that had they not told us about it. But it was kind of like a cool old bookstore with a tap room. And that's where they poured the majority of their beers. I think maybe all of them were.
And talk about being extremely welcoming, like going from one extreme to another.
Yep, yeah.
They were so welcoming because they also have, I had an iced tea when I first got there. They have
Yeah.
coffee, they have
Yep.
tea, they have NA, they have beer. I mean, they just want you to hang out,
Yeah.
which is so cool.
And so the Alliteration Brewing,
Yeah.
that's kind of like their de facto tap room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would imagine. I don't know if they have a separate tap room.
don't think
but,
so. I don't think so.
Kind of right on the main drag over in Garden City. But we hung out there before we had to head to the airport. And that was really fun. Kind of like a last little, we were all kind of doing some work. And it was a perfect place to kind of post up, and just like get your laptop or read a book. And
We
Yeah.
all had our luggage in one corner.
Yeah, nobody looked at us funny for having all of our
and we all had
luggage.
our laptops, and it's like we had a couple beverages, and it was close enough to the airport that we were like, we can just jump on, take a lift, and the three of us can split it and head over there.
Yeah.
And that was a really good. And we had a bit of a later flight too, so that was like a great spot to just hang out. And they had books for sale, books that you could just pick up and read. Cool merchandise, welcoming space, incredible space. I mean, yeah.
that was a good last stop.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask each of you, if you can go back to Boise but can only go back to one brewery, what is it and why?
Oh, that's really tough. I mean, the why for me would be like, I feel like I didn't have enough time. Like, I wouldn't want to go back. I mean, I would want to go back to almost everywhere we went. But if I had to pick one, it would just be because we were doing things back to back and I didn't have time to linger and so for that reason, it would probably be Burt's.
Okay.
Just because I only had like
Take yours.
because I only had like 2 half beers there because we were just going from thing to thing, which is fine. But I was also like, in the middle of a conversation and then I was eating. And so I didn't really get to like process it. Cause we did go to Barbarian twice. We did go to Lost Grove twice. But that would probably be the one that I would want to go back because they had such a breadth of styles. It was very inviting. Even though it was a small space, it was like well set up where I would just want to spend time there. That would probably be the one for me. But I already want to go back. Like, I already want to go back.
Yeah. So I think Paige took my answer. That's
Sorry.
Okay. What was the spot again? What was the name of the place that they were doing the expansion? They only had a few beers on. That was Clairvoyant. Yeah.
Wow, how gracious of you to say that.
What?
That you would want to go back there.
No, that's the place that I think I would pick only because there was so many like locals and so many guides that said like get to
That's
this
true.
spot.
Everybody said to go there.
Great place. Everyone said to go there. And also I like to add to that, it sounds like when we were there, they were in flux, you know, and we've been in this for long enough.
Everyone got what? The Dunkelweizen?
I
Everyone
think
got
so.
like the same beer.
It was like
was a
they had a
Schwarzbier?
Helles. There were it was some
I thought
German
everyone
style.
got the Dunkelweizen. Because
There
we
was
were
a
like,
dark-
when do you see that on us?
Yeah, but like I think
And it was good,
there's-
is my point.
There's two things to that. It's like one, the fact that like we were saying, well, they're in flux, so obviously they're at a point where they've only got a few beers on tap because they're expanding or something. And while we were there was like people talking about expansion.
Yeah, literally, they were like hooking up the new tanks.
Just the energy in the space. It was very like old school brewery. Like walk, like come in. Come as
not
you are.
huge.
Not huge. Here's some seating.
Really
Here's-
sweet dog.
Here's a couple goofy.
Oh, yeah.
Here's a couple goofy games to play. So like if we went back in like a year, for
You'd wanna give
example,
them a
I would
shot?
want to give them another shot because I
Yeah,
feel like
for sure.
they would be like the and like again Bert's first pick. But I feel like they would be like this weird standout where you're like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe how good they are.
My vote would be Bert's, just because kind of like
Two
I mean
Berts.
their variety of different lagers that they had. I think the hospitality was great. The people behind the bar were awesome. They had various different types of seating.
Right.
They had bar seating. They
Right.
had high tops,
Outdoor.
low tops, outdoor, kind of
Or
some funky
banquettes.
couches. And just, I love the variety. And I kind of like that they were kind of on the smaller side and just kind of starting out, but they just seemed to really be doing well.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you can brew those styles, you clearly know what you're doing.
Right.
So
It's also interesting to know, like, why do people recommend certain places? Like, because Brown Beard, which we didn't talk about, was one of the top, also one of the other top recommendations.
Yeah.
Has some of the highest Google ratings. But then we ended up finding a brewery just by signage alone, Ruckus,
yep.
who
And I
had
think they were pretty new
better
too.
quality
Yeah.
beer.
Yep.
They were newer.
Yeah.
They had only one space, not two. They had better quality beer, better hospitality, and it's like that didn't come up on any search that I did when I was finding the
right,
So it's just like you never know what you know why the algorithm is driving you to certain places.
Right.
you know?
Well, and I always say that too. I'm like, you can do so much research before you go to a place.
Yeah.
Yep.
But then on your first or second day, you should always just open up your laptop or your phone and just do those.
We did that in
basic-
Louisville too.
Do those basic Google searches. Brewery near me, coffee shop near me,
That's
restaurant
how we found
near me.
Trellis.
Yeah,
in the middle
exactly.
of our wandering.
And then you find these
Remember that?
random places where you're like, oh, this never came up when I was searching in Minnesota, but it came up when I'm searching a few blocks away.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Talk to the locals. Ask where
For
their
sure.
places are, because there's always new stuff coming up.
There's something to be said, I think, for being like a semi-big fish in a small pond, where you feel like you've gotten to experience the majority of something,
Right.
and you're like, okay, now I have a feel. Especially like you as a podcaster, as a writer, like you want to tell people, like, okay, I feel like I have a handle on this. Like if we went to Chicago, we could all split up and hit a couple breweries, and we still wouldn't hit them all.
Right.
Right.
And other people are already gonna have opinions about it. Whereas like a town like Boise or even Louisville, it's like, okay, we feel like we can be the authority on this because we've done it. And
Yes.
we have really cast a wide net. We've listened to the locals. We've read about it. We've figured out where to go. We maybe missed something or want to go back and see how something has evolved and changed. But for the most part, like we feel like we hit it and we can now tell you about it. you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Whereas, like, again, setting us loose in, like, like
Denver.
or well, although I feel like Jeff would really like.
Well,
that.
they know. I mean,
But,
they
like,
live there.
He'd
So.
be liming everywhere.
Well, and some of those places, I feel like it's kind of hard to. It's a little like a FOMO sort of situation, you know. It's like we love going to Milwaukee because when we go to Milwaukee, we can hit everything.
Yeah.
Going to Chicago is a little bit stressful because
It's in, yeah, because especially if you don't have a ton of time.
right, you're like,
Because there's so many things.
Spread
Or like
out.
New York
Yep.
City. I love New York City, but every time I go there, have a great time. And then I come back and I'm like, I missed out on so much. I didn't do any of the things that I wanted to do. Even though I had a great time, but it's like, it's funny, these like smaller places, and we talk about this in like our travel talk all the time. It's like, we go to Milwaukee, we come home, and I'm just like, I am satisfied. I feel so good. Like,
But I mean, Milwaukee is the triumvirate of bars, breweries,
and
and
restaurants.
food.
Right.
Yes.
Like you,
It's one of the best cities
if you
in the-
go
in
to
the whole
Milwaukee and you
country.
don't have fun, it's a you problem.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, don't blame the
100%.
city
I've
for
said it for
that.
years.
It's like you
100%.
did Milwaukee wrong.
Right.
Like you didn't
Right.
read the signs.
Right.
Yeah.
And
You
I
didn't
think
go to Gropey's.
You didn't go to Gropey.
What aisle is the olive oil? All of them.
All of
them have
It's
olive
all-
oil.
you can see it from here right now. And I feel like there are certain cities where it's easy to like just show up and have a good time. Like we've talked about
Yeah.
this before. Like
Yeah.
a great
Inver Grove Heights, perfect example.
I think a really good example or a highlight for us is like we like both these cities, but they're very different. Like St. Louis and Kansas City. I feel like you can
Yes.
show up in Kansas City and it is like a
Absolutely.
hootenanny
Yep.
every day.
Yep.
Like that you know
You're
what's
gonna
going
get the meat
on.
sweats.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Wear
I
comfy
mean,
pants.
it's like there's an art festival, there's a farmer's market,
Yeah.
there's a friggin' paddle boat museum.
Right.
But then when you go to St. Louis, it's like
Paddle Museum.
I
I
feel
went
like I
there.
have to know a
Yes.
local to get around St. Louis.
St.
And
Louis
it's
is
not,
a little
it's
cagey.
not that it's a bad town. It's like you can't just show up and be like, okay, what's happening?
You need to do some planning.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Well, I think the crux of the conversation is be open to going to a new place. You know, when I found out Boise was the choice, I was like, well, that's interesting. I never would have.
Thanks for your honesty, Dan.
You know, I was like, huh, okay. But then every person I talked to,
Yeah.
including my sister, her whole family went out last summer to Boise. They had a great time.
I had always heard it was like an
And-
under the radar beer,
Yeah.
specifically beer destination.
My niece and nephew were so excited that I was going out there. And I was like, okay, well, like everybody I've talked to said this is a great place. And, you know, Marcus and Andrea were already kind of talking about going out there. So be open to things. But also, I think even the bigger takeaway is if you are traveling with fun people, you don't need many different things. Our group would have fun going anywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I think that's also part of it. It's not so much the destination, it's the journey. And if you're with people that you love, like you're going to find good stuff wherever because it's those relationships that you've built up over the years that you could just like go do an ordinary thing. I mean, we would have a fun time going to Target, you know, so that's, you know, so keep yourself open for travel. If you've got good travel companions, you could confidently go anywhere and have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to thank you both for this wonderful conversation. Recap of Boise, Idaho was great. You know, if you're listening to this and are like, well, I've never been to Boise before, I'd like to know more. Shoot me a message, and I'd be happy to share notes and show you pictures and I might even let you look at my food journal, which only
Diary.
my food diary, few people have seen. But you know, I love recapping a trip because in many ways it feels like reliving it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
thank
Totally.
you both for chatting with me.
Thanks for having us.
And I want to give a shout out to Wandering Leaf
Yes.
too.
yes.
Such good beer.
Such great
Incredible.
beer, foliage, people. We're in the midst of some sort of tabletop gaming situation
really serious
happening
over
behind
there.
us.
It's very
They're
serious.
about to storm Helm's Deep
They
with
are.
some figurines, and I think that's our cue to wrap it up. So this has been another on location episode of A One Pint Stand. Cheers. Let's get a clink here. Boing. Traveling with Rick and Paige never disappoints. Besides their passion for adventure when it comes to seeking out a great beverage or culinary experience, they are fantastic people with kind hearts and wonderful senses of humor. I thought I was going to die when Paige went on her rant about the claggy waffles. That's just the tip of the iceberg of the fun that we have when we go on trips. They're some of my favorite people, and along with the rest of the travel group, I'm already looking forward to next summer's Cleveland, Ohio romp. Now, I want to give a special thank you to Brad Ashton, Marcus Dodson, Chuck Dorsey, Vicky Epper, Daniel Fisher, Todd Fitzloff, Laura Fleischfresser, Dave Giefer, Matt Holton, Cable Lefto, Dave Long, Ben Michaels, Brent Newman, Bree Smith, Jesse Storms, Sarah Cry, Cal Vandehoof, and Brian Wu for being Kegstander level supporters of the A One Pint Stand Patreon. You've all shown incredible generosity, and I'm grateful for it. Cheers to you all. I also want to thank the band Quirky for creating a nice little jingle for the podcast. I just love how it turned out, and it adds such a great personal touch to the show. Thank you so much. Now, before I sign off, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor for this episode, Unmapped Brewing Company. Whether it's a cup of coffee at their base camp coffee shop or a pint of Purgatory Pills in their taproom, Unmapped Brewing Company in Minnetonka, Minnesota is an excellent place for craft beer and community. Check out their website, unmappedbrewing.com, to make sure you aren't missing out on any of their wonderful taproom events. With that, this has been another episode of A One Pint Stand, a Minnesota craft beer podcast where the pants stay on, but the caps come off. Cheers. Yeah, at the beginning of the day, well, I love the attenuation of this little locker here. It's just real great. You can see through
By
it.
8 p.m.
Bubbly.
Is this a
Like,
single hop?
hey, where's that sticker? It's kind of like you're trying to moon people out of the lift.
Yeah.
This is just great. You're drinking slushies. You're doing shots of all sorts of weird stuff, and it just winds up being kind of a all out free for all of joy.